Good morning, just after 6, Robert and Erin, 101.7 FM and 710 KEEL down yonder. Anniversary girl Erin McCarty
Woohoo!
has local news up next.
Caddo School Board employee sends out an email urging fellow workers to vote yes. Well, problem with that, it's illegal. There were some tornado touchdowns in the area yesterday, and no more tackle football.
Got lots of questions about your last 35 years. What have you done? What have you done to make this area better? Have you been napping every day? Is it too late to turn it around? I'd say yes.
Oh, boy.
I do have a lot of questions about your new stuff, and I want to talk about Louisiana Wallet this morning, too.
Okay.
Fletcher in sports, traffic, and weather, it's all coming up this hour. It's right here on KEEL.
The KEEL Morning Report, now on 101.7 FM and 710 KEEL.
Caddo School Board responds to millage support email. Matt Parker with that.
On Wednesday, a Caddo School Board employee sent an email in support of an upcoming millage renewal. The letter asked for support for the measure and said all employees should encourage friends and family to go out and vote yes. The Caddo School Board has responded to the email by saying the email was not authorized and was not sent on behalf of the school board. A spokesperson says leadership never saw the letter and that actions have been taken to correct the error. From 101.7 FM and 710 KEEL, I'm Matt Parker.
Voters are also being asked tomorrow to okay a millage increase in Bossier Parish to fund teacher pay raises. Shreveport National Weather Service says Thursday morning storm caused 3 EF tornadoes. The twisters hit Huxley, Texas, Stanley, Louisiana, and Mansfield. While the tornadoes did cause some damage, including downed trees and some structural damage, no injuries reported. The YMCA of Northwest Louisiana says protecting children is a top priority. NFL greats on board, medical experts are on board, and many others. YMCA Director Gary Lash tells us why the decision was made to do away with tackle football.
To be safer for the children because of the risk of concussion, head injuries, early injuries when kids' growth plates.
Beginning in the fall of this year, the YMCA locally will shift all of its football leagues to flag football only. The Shreveport City Council's Public Safety Committee got together with the police chief to talk about the number of crossing guards at our schools. The group agrees the guards are needed, but think there may be too many. According to Chief Raymond, there are 92 guards who work across the city. Shreveport Police pays for the large majority of that. City Council considering several changes to the way the city handles crossing guards, including cutting them out of SPD's budget. Now, members of the school board were invited to the meeting. No one showed up. Vice President Mike Pence arrives in Lafayette today and will visit Mount Pleasant Baptist Church, one of the 3 churches recently torched in St. Landry Parish. Pence will meet with community and church leaders. Southwest Louisiana Congressman Clay Higgins believes the way law enforcement and the church community face the situation stands out to the VP.
I believe in my heart the Vice President is wishing to express his sincere appreciation and respect for the way this horror was handled.
Pence, speaking at the White House during a National Day of Prayer event, says the world condemns the recent attacks at religious buildings. A Benton High School junior joins an elite club. Chase Taylor scored a 36 on the ACT, the highest score possible. Last year, of the nearly 2 million students who took the ACT, only 3,700 earned a perfect score. ACT CEO Martin Rorta says this achievement is significant and very rare. Shreveport Fire Department announces the department's first female arson investigator, Janet Ward, a 19-year department vet, promoted to the position after becoming the first woman to complete all requirements to become a certified fire investigator. Facebook turning its back on a number of extremists, including Alex Jones and Louis Farrakhan. The social networking site says they and others violate its ban on dangerous individuals. The ban applies to both Facebook's main service and to Instagram. Shreveport Mudbugs bounced back, forcing a Game 5 against Amarillo. The Bugs shut out the Bulls 2-0 last night to force Game 5 in the series and keep their championship hopes alive. And a man in Pennsylvania gets so mad at his mom that he flushed the ashes of his grandparents down a toilet. The guy is now charged with 2 counts of abuse of a corpse and criminal mischief. I'm Erin McCarty on 101.7 FM and 710 KEEL.
One 101.7 FM, 710 KEEL. Traffic update now for Friday. Here's Ruben.
Looks like 3132's got it all clear for your early morning drive to work or school, but look out a little later on this morning for some traffic delays on I-20 westbound near Spring and Market. If you have anything to report to us, give us a call at the Planet Fitness Traffic Hotline, 687-ROAD.
Well, lots of clouds around today. Scattered showers and thunderstorms expected to pop up this afternoon. Some gusty winds and hail are possible. 81. Thunderstorm chance through the night tonight, low 64. Morning showers tomorrow, then partly cloudy for the afternoon, 79. And Sunday, sunny skies in the forecast, high 82. Richard Wettig at the Weather Channel.
One 101.7 FM, 710 KEEL. Robert J. Wright and Erin McCarty. You going to mute your phone or just going to?
No, my phone's going to pop off all morning.
Well, then mute your phone.
I might do that.
How about now?
That. Let's see where the button is.
Yeah.
A little too late.
Let's see where the... Okay.
Oh, man.
Today is an amazing day.
Yeah.
Today,
I'm
and for all
excited.
intents and purposes, it was 30 This is freaking crazy.
I can't believe it, Robert.
35 years, and this will be the cornerstone, the thrust, the thread of the show today. 35 years ago today, you walked into this building, not for the first time because you'd interviewed.
Sure.
But 35 years ago today was your first day on the radio in this building, what was then the old KWKH.
This very building, yeah.
And started your
Do you know what room my job was in? What room I worked in?
I had always assumed that the old original newsroom was across the hall.
Yeah, that was the news workroom across the hall.
Yeah, where it used to be when we started together.
This room we're in today
was the
news studio.
Was it really?
When I did my shift, I came into this room.
Next door where Highway is, was the KWKH AM room.
Mm-hmm. Next door there was KROK, K-Rock.
Right.
Which that fall changed to KWKH FM.
Yeah, and went back to country.
Yeah,
because this market was without a top 40 station for like 15 years.
Yes, it was, absolutely.
Until we
And those
came
were the
along.
only two stations in this building then. When I came to work here, we had two stations.
About 8,000 square feet.
We had, tons of people
Now
here.
there's 6 in the same business.
And I was thinking, and I worked a shift. My shift was as a news reporter, and I worked the midday. I was, news people have a shift when you're actually on the air doing the news. Then the rest of your day you're out covering it. And so my news shift on the air started at 9, and I think went to 2.
My, how little things have changed.
And then after 2, I went to any meeting that started at 3. I went to. So if it was school board, if it was city council, if it was, commission, I went to them.
And now, 3.5 decades later,
man,
they call you. They bring the meeting to you. So what do you remember? I'm intrigued. What do you remember exactly about that first day? Do you
No. Not a
you
moment.
don't recall an instant?
Not a moment.
Seriously.
I felt right at home, to be honest. I felt right. Let me explain the trip up here first, because I hate to say this out loud, but to folks, I'm from Baton Rouge. To folks from Baton Rouge.
Not anymore.
Shreveport. Oh, God. Shreveport.
Which is interesting because that's the way Shreveport people think of Baton Rouge.
Yes,
just a bunch of refinery mutants.
Right. And my goal when I made the trip up here was I was 1 year out of college. I had a job in Hammond, but I was moving on. And my goal was to go to Little Rock and work for the Arkansas Radio Network. So I was driving through. I was passing through.
What do you do when your dreams come true? Realize
and
you
there was
aim
a job,
too low.
And there was a job in Hope, Arkansas, too. And I was actually going to go interview for them.
Wow.
Well, and on a lark, I stopped here. I didn't have any appointment. Didn't have any scheduled to meet with anybody. But I called and I got John Lee on the phone, who was the news director at the time. And
Is he joining us this morning?
I don't know. I haven't talked to John. But I said, hey, I'm passing through. I'm here's where I'm headed. You want me to stop by and see you? And he said, yeah, please do stop by. So I stopped by.
Always the amicable.
Apparently they had
amicable man.
They had an opening at the time. Yeah. I'm not sure. I go on to Little Rock and Hope and go back home.
Pardon me a second. You interviewed at a radio station in Hope, Arkansas.
I did.
You saw it as a step in the right direction.
Well, I was headed that way. I was
going
to Little Rock.
I got you.
I was going to Little Rock. I was like, whatever. So I go back home. This was way before cell phones, and all 3 jobs panned out. They all called me within like a week or so, and said
including here.
Including here, they called me and said we have a job. I mean, the money was horrible at the time for all 3. And
how much? 100 and what?
I think it was 15,000 or something like that.
Yeah.
I think. I'm not sure. And I was making a lot more than that.
Divide that by 52.
Well, I was at the time where I was in Hammond. I had a free home, and
you lived.
I lived on the station property.
Yeah,
but it was a nice house. It was a real nice house.
You lived in the transmitter building.
No, it was a nice house. It had a big deck on the back and all that.
How much?
$288.46.
Wow.
Europe's big dog.
I was rolling in it. Okay.
Oh my God, yes.
So I got to talking to. I had a boyfriend at the time, and I got to talking to him, and I talked to my mother, and I thought, well, Shreveport's closer to home. It's a 4-hour drive. You can come home. This was before I-49, obviously. You can come home on the weekends. It's not that
wasn't
bad.
that, by the way, the worst drive? You had to go Highway 1.
Oh, my God. That was awful.
Like New Orleans was 6 hours.
I've driven that Highway 1 so many times. And so I decided to stay closer to home. And so that's why I came to Shreveport. Now, I do tell you that when I tell you that Shreveport was like, oh, God, Shreveport. I had my first visit to Shreveport was as a high school junior or senior.
Tennis tournament.
And when I went to Quirby's Tennis Park, where the state championships were, this town impressed me. And I still had that in my brain. Quirby's, to me, was a tennis mecca. You had an upstairs viewing deck. I mean, we didn't have an upstairs viewing deck in all of Baton Rouge except at one big pricey club, that nobody could be a member of unless you were a millionaire. But Shreveport had a public viewing deck at Quirby's upstairs at a public course, at a tennis court where anybody could show up. I thought, and the courts were immaculate. They were gorgeous. And I left after that tournament going, man, that's pretty cool. And I had a good impression of Shreveport after that visit, which was kind of cool. And so when the opportunity arose, and I played tennis for years after I first moved here.
$288 a week.
Man.
Wow.
I've caused them so much damage over the years. I've cost them so much. I was thinking, too, later, how much equipment have I destroyed?
Or lost.
In 35 years. Yeah.
Probably $10,000.
One full car.
You wrecked a car?
No, I drowned a car. I drowned a company car. I've not told you that story?
No, I know when you did it.
Oh, that'll be another one this
I know
morning.
when your ex-husband had to rescue you.
That was my car.
Yeah, but that was your car.
Yeah.
And that was when we had that flash flood, and you thought, I can drive my SUV through 6 feet of water.
Yeah.
What could possibly go wrong?
Yeah.
I'll speed up and hydroplane my way through the pond.
And you know what I did to the KVKI vehicle. I mean, you know about that story.
I don't know that either. No.
You don't?
No.
We have so many stories to tell today.
If you don't know, by the way, before we go to break, we need to talk about this a lot, or at least make reference to it. Mayor Adrian Perkins joins us Monday morning. Do we know what time?
It looks like 8:10.
It will be via phone. He will not be in studio. It will be on the phone.
Right.
But it is under the heading of my first 100 days in office.
Mm-hmm.
Well, basically, it's going to be your first. We're going to talk insurance. I mean,
there's insurance and all kinds of stuff.
Lots of stuff to talk about. Mm-hmm. But the mayor will be joining us on the phone Monday morning. You think just after 7 o'clock. 8 o'clock, sorry. Mm-hmm. 101.7 FM, 710 KEEL. Ruben's here, traffic update.
Starting things off looking pretty clear for your early morning drive to work or school. But look out later on this morning for some traffic delays on Uri Drive near Southfield Road. If you have anything to report to us, give us a call at the Planet Fitness Traffic Hotline, 687-ROAD.
Well, lots of clouds around today. Scattered showers and thunderstorms expected to pop up this afternoon. Some gusty winds and hail are possible. 81. Thunderstorm chance through the night tonight, low 64. Morning showers tomorrow, then partly cloudy for the afternoon, 79. And Sunday, sunny skies in the forecast, high 82. Richard Wettig at the Weather Channel.
Oh one 17 FM, 710 KEEL. Time for Friday morning sports.
Good morning from the sports desk of 1130 The Tiger. This is Tim Fletcher. The Mudbugs aren't boiled yet, facing elimination after giving up a 3-goal third-period lead Wednesday night in Game 4 of their South Division Championship Series. The Bugs shut out Amarillo 2-0 in Game 4 last night. The final game of the postseason at Georges Pond at Hurst Coliseum featured goals from a pair of original Mudbugs playing their final game at home. Yergi Fedulov lit the lamp with 3:48 to play in the second period to give the Bugs a 1-0 lead. And then in the closing moments, Jay Fewell, the captain, added an empty net goal in the closing moments to back a spectacular performance by goalie Leo Schwar. The winner take all Game 5 is set for Sunday in Amarillo. High school baseball, the Rummel Raiders knocked off Byrd yesterday 5-2 in the quarterfinals of the Division I high school baseball playoffs. The Yellow Jackets certainly had their opportunities, though. They left the bases loaded in the first and fourth inning. Game 2 of the best-of-3 series is set for today at 4 o'clock. Other games today. North Shore visits the Parkway Panthers in Games 1 and 2. Benton will host West Washita at 6 o'clock tonight. North Webster heads over to the northeast part of the state to take on Sterlington at 5. Manny and Welsh play a double dip, Games 1 and 2 at Welsh at 5 and 7. Logansport hosts Grand Lake. Evangel travels down to St. Paul's for a pair of games. Loyola welcomes Parkview at 5 p.m. Calvary has a double dip with Notre Dame. That game is out there on Linwood Avenue. And Cedar Creek visits Ascension at 4 o'clock. And if necessary, Game 3 would be at 7 o'clock. In the big leagues, the Twins beat the Astros 8-2. Former Astro Jason Castro had a home run and 4 RBI. NBA playoffs, the Sixers take a 2-1 series lead with a 116-95 win over Toronto. In the Stanley Cup playoffs, pair of series even up at 2 wins apiece. Boston beat Columbus 4-1, and Colorado beat San Jose 3-0. From the sports desk of 1130 The Tiger, this is Tim Fletcher.
.107 FM, 710 Keel, Robert J. Wright and Erin McCarty, the 35th anniversary show. Not for us. Our 23rd will be in August. But this is 35 years since you started in this building today.
Yes.
That's pretty awesome.
Isn't that crazy?
I think you got the record for uninterrupted service.
I think so, yeah.
Because Ryan Larry was on Keel for a million years. Mm-hmm. And then went to Chicago for a couple of years, I think. And then to Milwaukee for a very short time.
Right.
Then came back.
Yeah.
So he's interrupted.
I still, I mean, he's a god, you know.
But,
I still
he may have gotten
Larry
back. He may have gotten back before you started. I'll text him this morning and see.
No, he left. He left because I moved to Keel and he was gone. I moved to Keel from KWK.
Yeah, you were downtown for a very short time.
Gone.
Right,
yeah,
right,
and he was
right.
gone already from Keel. So
who's on the guest list today?
I don't know.
What?
I'm not sure.
You planned your own party.
Yeah, the people are going to pop in and out. I know Mike Johnson, Congressman Mike Johnson's going to call in at 6:40. I'm looking forward to chatting with him because Mike. Little did I know, because I was I'm probably the only reporter still working in this town that went to Dixie Cold Storage when they had the fire, severely
involving
his dad and killed Percy Johnson.
Yeah.
I mean, I was on the scene. May have been one of the first reporters on the scene because it's right down the road.
My brother was a young fireman at the time.
And little did I know, years later, the son of that fireman would be my congressman.
Because his dad's name was Pat, right? Mm-hmm. And my brother Hal, who was on the fire department for like 35 years, didn't put two and two together. And it was after Mike was elected, and I had said something about that I had mentioned to my brother Hal about his dad. He goes, "Wait a second." I said, "What?" He said, "Who's his dad?" I said, "Pat Johnson." He goes, "Oh my God."
I didn't know until after he got elected as well.
Really?
Yeah, I did not. But I've had some adventures. I've met a lot of great people.
I don't care. I want to hear about wrecking the car.
I'll get to that one. Here we go.
Let's get to that one now. We got.
Yeah.
Can you do it in 2 minutes?
Yeah, it's quick.
Okay.
I'm in charge of training a new kid, okay? And there's storms coming through. Floodwaters are starting to rise. And we go in, one of our mobile units at the time was a Chevette. We called it something else, but we're not going to say that on the radio because we'd need the Jack Spring Electric shockbuster button.
Was it a floater?
It was a little white Chevette.
Yeah.
And so I let this young man, Brady, who was, really young, and I said, I tell you what, you drive. I'll do the reports from the passenger seat. And I'll show you kind of what areas we need to go to.
In the old two-way radio days.
Yeah, we had an old two-way radio where the console for the two-way radio, guess where it was, just FYI, on the floor behind the driver's seat, okay? So we go, flooding is coming up. We get to Uri and Southfield. Water's rising. Uri and Southfield at that time
like
was
a bathtub.
Yeah, it flooded
I got news for you. It still is.
There was a K&B on the corner where the Rite Aid was for a while. And so we get there, and I'm like, ooh, we can't go through this intersection, so we're going to need to turn. So turn left here in front of the K&B onto Southfield. Well, we shouldn't have even approached the intersection at all. So I make him turn.
Pardon me, is this that flood time when
Yes.
all of that Broadmoor area?
Yes.
Okay, I know when you're talking about.
So the car dies. Water's rising.
It's like early 90s, right? Mid-90s?
Yeah, maybe so. Water starts coming into the floorboard. Now, this was a time when I didn't know about drawstring pants yet. So I had on a skirt, heels, pantyhose, nice clothes, okay?
And the car's filling with water.
I don't have a cell phone. Immediately, the two-way radio goes out because it's where? On the floorboard in the back. So there's no communication. So we have to crawl out of the vehicle, and I go over to the K&B, and we have to use the payphone to call the station and go,
Car's underwater.
Car's underwater. We flooded the car out. Are you kidding me? Yeah. Where are you? Uri in Southfield. Did y'all really try to go through that intersection? Yeah, we did. Cars drowned.
Pardon me. Who we got?
So we had to...
Mike Johnson.
Let's go right now.
Okay.
You want to blow news off? Is that okay?
That's fine with me.
101.7 FM 7. You know what's interesting in you telling that story? And you've done it 3 times. You've done it
Drown
3
that car.
times this morning. And I've noticed that people, usually over the age of 40 or 45, have a habit of doing this. You know what that is?
What?
You refer to a time about 30 years ago, and you always preface it with, or work into the story, this was before cell phones, as though people can't figure that out themselves.
Right.
This was before cell phone. Of course it was. Of course it. Nixon was president. 101.7 FM, 710 KEEL. Congressman Mike Johnson is here. Hey, Mr. Mike, how are you this morning?
I'm doing great, guys, and I just wanted to call. This is a milestone. It's a big morning. I just wanted to add my word of congratulations to the mix and let Erin know she is officially an institution now. I think she's reached that status.
Institutionalized, you mean?
Institution. Yeah. Well, Mike, we were talking a little about Dixie Cold Storage a minute ago, and little did I know, and I think I'm probably the only reporter still working that went to that scene when that ammonia leak caused, it killed Percy Johnson and severely hurt your father. Little did I know at the time I'm covering that tragic story that the son of that firefighter would later be my congressman.
Yeah, we've come a long way. September 17th, 1984, it certainly changed the trajectory of my life and many others, as you know. And my dad was severely burned, 80% of his body, third-degree burns, critically, disabled, permanently disabled. But it's an emotional thing for me, Erin, that you were there and a part of that. There aren't that many people around who remember it as vividly as you and I do. And,
how old were you, Mike?
I was 12 years old, oldest of 4 kids in my family, and it changed my life permanently. That moment, that day, it's all just seared into my.
And yet, I dare to say there was not a man who was more inspirational, who had a greater effect, who taught you how to not only be a man, but to be a human being and strength more than your pop, right?
That's right. You get me emotional this morning talking about it, Robert. But, I lost him 3 days before I got elected to Congress. And this whole ride has been so bittersweet because of that, because he wanted to be here and be a part of it so much. And he is in so many ways. And the first time I stood in the rostrum of the Speaker's chair to serve as Speaker Pro Tem in the House of Representatives, I almost was overwhelmed with tears because I thought what my dad, what he would have thought about that.
And yet you have become, dare I say, to so many people, not only your own family, but beyond, you have become, at least in my mind, because I know you pretty well, you have become that guy that your dad was. And that must make you so proud, and it makes him proud, too.
Mm-hmm.
It's the highest compliment you could pay to me, brother. I appreciate you saying that. But look, this is not about, this is not my day, my compliment. I wanted to let you guys know, let your listeners know. I have done radio myself for almost 20 years. You guys know I had my own talk show at one point. I've been on the air. I've been exposed to radio all over the country. I just hung up from a national NPR interview just a few minutes ago before I called in. But I want to tell your listeners what they probably already realize. This is one of the consistently highest quality radio programs in America. I mean, it's just great stuff all the time. Maybe it's the 35 years of seasoning and all the time you both had on the radio, but you guys are at the top of your game, and it's just genuinely one of the best things on the airwaves today, anywhere across the country. And I'm so grateful you guys are in Shreveport, in my hometown, and still doing what you do. And I hope you have 35 or 40 more.
So just quickly, what's going on in D.C. right now? I know on the Senate side, it's just nasty as can be. How's about the House?
It couldn't get much worse on the House side either. I mean, this week was just an absolute circus, especially in our House Judiciary Committee.
I was watching that, Mike. Oh.
Yeah, it just broke down. That was the subject of the interview I just did on NPR, is that, the Democrats have literally just turned procedure and tradition and decorum on its head. And it is an all-out assault on the Attorney General. And yesterday Nancy Pelosi accused him of perjury, of committing a crime. It's hard to imagine how these things could devolve any further. And meanwhile, they're pushing some of the most radical legislative proposals that anyone could ever imagine. It's not even American. It's just pure socialist, ideology, and it's really, really bad. If we don't get the majority back in this next election cycle, and I think we will, I think it'll come back to the Republican Party. We're going to be in real trouble. We've got to turn this thing around. Thankfully, I think it'll come out our way.
I don't know if this question's going to come out right, and it's sort of a radio question. And I think of it when I see John Kennedy all the time on CNN. And I say, Mr. John is not only walking into the lion's den, but he enjoys it. You seem to be sort of a go-to guy for NPR, hardly the most conservative of radio and or TV networks in that case. What is it about going on that show? What is it that you're doing that they keep having you back? And what is it about going into that lion's den that you seem to not only embrace but enjoy?
Well, I see it as part of our responsibility. I try to go to places where we're not expected and sometimes not welcomed. I mean, that is the conservative voice, because I think that's the most important place to present it, because some of those audiences, CNN, MSNBC, some of the left-leaning programs, they don't, if we don't go and present our case, it will literally never be heard. That perspective won't be considered at all. Increasingly, people go to their respective ideological corner and they only hear from the people that agree with them. But that's not the American way. That is not the free marketplace of ideas, and we've got to be more active than ever to go out and present our case. And so, yeah, I relish that opportunity every time I'm given it.
Mike, let me tell you before we let you go that I can't thank you enough for your responsiveness, whether we agree or disagree on the issues. You're always there for us, and from the bottom of my heart, I can't thank you enough.
Hey, you're awesome, and I guess we're saying happy anniversary for this. It's an anniversary, right? So,
yes.
Keep it up. Y'all keep doing this, and we're listening. And I'm telling you, I say this. I said it on the clip one time. I listen on the app when I'm in D.C. when I can, because I don't want to miss what's happening back home, and you guys have the best finger on the pulse of anybody I know, so keep it up. Thanks
Mr. Mike, it's our pleasure as always. Thank you so much, and we'll see you soon, I hope.
You got it.
1017 FM, 710 Keel. Take a break. More on the way. Happy anniversary,
We have another special guest at the door.
Really?
Yes.
That means I have to go to the door.
Yeah.
Because you don't walk after 6 a.m. Traffic update. Here's Ruben.
Looks like 3132's got it all clear for your early morning drive to work or school, but look out a little later on this morning for some traffic delays on I-20 westbound near Spring and Market. If you have anything to report to us, give us a call at the Planet Fitness Traffic Hotline, 687-ROAD.
Well, lots of clouds around today. Scattered showers and thunderstorms expected to pop up this afternoon. Some gusty winds and hail are possible. 81. Thunderstorm chance through the night tonight, low 64. Morning showers tomorrow, then partly cloudy for the afternoon, 79. And Sunday, sunny skies in the forecast, high 82. Richard Wettig at the Weather Channel.
.101.7 FM, 710 Keel. Robert J. Wright and Erin McCarty. The big 35th anniversary show.
Got a couple of really cool texts, and I want to read
Let's reset the table a second.
Okay.
Today is your anniversary of 35 consecutive years.
It's actually tomorrow, but for what it's worth.
In the Shreveport radio market. Well, hopefully nothing bad will happen today, and you'll make it to Saturday.
35 years, it just... I've been on the radio in this town
longer
than most of these kids that we work with are born. Oh, the mayor's not even 35.
Holy
you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Think about it.
Well.
He's not even 35.
And by the way, just as an aside, let's do a quick promote. He will be joining us Monday morning at 8:10 to talk about a myriad of subjects.
A myriad. Got this
At
from
least one.
Jane Smith this morning. Congrats on 35 awesome years of service to our area. I can't imagine listening to the news every morning without hearing your voice. Enjoy this special day. Got another from one of our listeners. Congratulations, you are a staple in our community. Thanks for all you do. Always enjoy listening and hearing from y'all.
I got a question because I do this.
Yeah.
When you're on vacation.
That's weird to me.
And you're in town. Do you purposely not listen to the radio?
I try not to.
See, this is going to be weird, and I don't mean it the way it's going to sound. I don't listen to Keel in the morning. I'll listen to Rush or whatever else, but I won't listen to the morning show if I'm in town because I got to get away from you. I know you do the same thing.
I get that.
I just don't need to hear his voice.
You some, and you know, of the 35 years, 23 have been with you.
Yeah.
And that in itself
23
is
in August,
yeah.
Yeah.
Think about that, Robert. Most people
Your
don't
kids
stay with their spouses.
were babies. That's all.
Yes,
Your kids
exactly.
were babies. And we'll
look
tell
who
this.
look who wandered in.
State Representative Cedric Glover is here for a couple of seconds. What by a couple of seconds, what I mean is as long as you'd like.
Oh,
Yeah.
just a couple of seconds, getting in
As
early.
long
So
as you'd like.
sweet of you to come in so early.
Because God knows you don't, you're never up this time of day.
Well, it's a slightly bigger room than it used to be, but it's still pretty small for a
Yeah.
guy my size. So I want to get in and get out before the riffraff shows up.
I go back to the riffraff. Wow. I go back to city
Leading the
council
way,
meetings,
yeah.
and in my mind, he was there all the time. But he showed up at city council meetings before he was a council member.
You started
No.
doing that.
Only a couple of times.
No, only once.
Seriously?
And it was a special meeting called
Wow.
Public Safety Hearing, called by Hillary Huckabee in response to all the crime that was going on. You've got me mixed up with Edgar Fuller,
Do I really?
Bishop Edgar Fuller.
But you used to, I just remember seeing you in the audience, seeing you there,
I was-
representing the MLK neighborhood.
You saw me out in the MLK neighborhood. You didn't see me at the city council.
Okay.
meetings.
Well, that's interesting. My brain has
What got
fused you
started,
together.
What got you started in politics? What made you? We've talked about this off the air, and you talk about the influence of your parents, etc. But what was it? I mean, at some point, you have to have the drive, the want to use a coaching term.
Crack, Crips, and crime.
Sick of seeing it.
Well, I mean, the Shreveport that I came back to in the late 80s was not the one that I grew up in. Certainly not my neighborhood in the Cooper Road. And so what you had was a conversion of the technology that converted powdered cocaine into crack. That created a demand for the drug. One of the groups that was distributing it was LA-style street gangs. They were looking for new territories, and they ended up in places like Shreveport, and particularly places like the Cooper Road, my neighborhood.
Mm-hmm.
And so seeing my neighborhood in the late 80s transform from being a very stable, supportive place to being one that was in utter chaos because of the increasing crack addiction that was being fed by folks who were involved with the Crips and the Bloods and what have you, who were essentially doing what entrepreneurs do, looking for new territories. Areas were quickly being taken up out in California and Texas and what have you, and places like Shreveport, where those folks had relatives and relationships and what have you, represented new open blue ocean territory, as the saying would go. And so those things showed up and began to put Shreveport in a very, very bad set of circumstances. And that was something based upon my upbringing and seeing my parents being active, being engaged, being involved, being community minded, said I needed to do something. And so I stepped forward, started working, trying to provide positive, constructive things for the young people in the community to do because their parents were so absent because of their increasing addictions. That led to actually stepping forward to try and address some of in fact, it was the first drive-by shooting fatality that took place on LaGuardia sometime in 1989. That prompted me to step forward, get involved again with the Neighborhood Association. Ultimately was asked to become the president of the Neighborhood Association, called the first meeting to see what it is that we as men of the community could do about the problem. That led to the formation of the Kingsman Observers, which was the group that went out and served as an extension of the eyes and ears of the police department that said to the neighborhood, we're going to be the vanguard of our community. If you're engaged in negative activity, we're going to be there to say to law enforcement, we see you, we know who you are, we want you to stop what you're doing. If you don't, we're going to work with law enforcement to excise you away from our community.
How did you move to politics then? You decided to run for city council, and kind of there we roll now.
Well, as I tell anybody who tells me that they're interested in getting in politics, my suggestion to them is that you need to find your avenue of service. You need to find a way in which you can be of service to the community of people that you may want to represent in an elected capacity in some form or fashion other than being an elected official. Because if the only way that you have the ability to ultimately impact and affect and change your community is by getting elected, and you run for office, and if you win, then you serve, and if you don't win, you go away, then you're not probably the best person to be in that elective office. And so people said to me, if you are this effective, if you're this committed, if you're this involved without being elected, imagine what you could do if you were our city council member.
And that's what Robert mentioned this earlier. And that in my brain, in thinking of being here 35 years, Cedric, I think, what have I done? What am I doing to leave this town better than when I arrived?
Other than a couple of wet vehicles.
And that's my goal. I mean, I love Shreveport. I love Northwest Louisiana now. And I want to make sure whatever I'm doing is going to leave it better for my children and my grandchildren. And I think you feel the same way. We all feel the same way.
Absolutely. This is my home. I mean, I'm a Shreveporter. I'm a
Right.
Cooperodian. You know, I'm a North Shreveporter. I'm a Southfielder.
Like Cooperodian.
I'm a Green Oaks guy. I'm a Magnet guy. I mean, this is a part of my DNA.
Yeah, you went to about 9 different high schools.
Well, I just told you I had to get to know my constituency.
Yeah.
And you know what?
Building a base.
And you know what?
One class at a time.
I'll tell you something about Cedric, and I call you Cedric because you don't mind, but we disagree on several things.
Mm-hmm.
But it's always polite. You are always genuine. You are always passionate. And sometimes you move me to think, maybe he's right. And I hope sometimes I move you to think, maybe she's right. Maybe she's got a point. And that's what this is all about. We're all here to make this community better. Nobody's here to hurt things or make things worse. And that's what I love about you. We can argue, we can fight, and you're still going to be here the next time.
Absolutely. The marketplace of ideas.
Yes.
We're here to put our thoughts, our positions, our beliefs out, debate, deliberate, and hopefully come up with some consensus about what's best to do for all of us.
Do me a favor, stick around a couple more seconds, would you?
Sure.
1017 FM, 710 Keel traffic update now. Here's Ruben.
Looks like 3132's got it all clear for your early morning drive to work or school, but look out a little later on this morning for some traffic delays on I-20 westbound near Spring and Market. If you have anything to report to us, give us a call at the Planet Fitness Traffic Hotline, 687-ROAD.
Keel Weather Channel forecast. Let's see, kind of cloudy and a chance of rain, though diminishing through the day. High today, low to middle 70s. It's 65. Are you happy? Are you finally happy?
I'm happy. Yes.
1017 FM, 710 Keel, Robert J. Wright and Erin McCarty, 35th anniversary. How old were you when you started on the radio in Shreveport? 20?
I was in my 20s, early 20s, yeah. Mm-hmm.
State Representative Cedric Glover is here for a few more minutes. She said when she started here, she was making like 15 grand. And I'm thinking, in 1984, was it? Yeah.
And I was still a teenager.
$288 a week. You were rolling in it. Oh,
yeah,
my God.
rolling in it. Okay.
My first radio job was $85 a week in 1972.
I actually bought a home a year after being here.
What?
I bought a little home on Midway. I thought, I'm going to put down roots.
I'm adulting.
Yeah, I did. I spent 1 year in an apartment, and then I bought a home, and because I thought I've got a decent job. It looks like it might be a keeper. I'm going to buy a house. So I've owned a home here all these years and paid taxes. I want to take you back to something that was a big event in my life.
I apologize.
And in this
We've only
city's
got
life.
about 30 seconds.
Okay.
now.
Oh, shoot.
All right.
Doggone it.
Well, we can hold on. We can hold on. The mayor, the former mayor, the state representative. We can get him some coffee. He can hang out a couple of minutes.
Because I was around for a lot of historic times in Shreveport, and one was the 1988 riots in Cedar Grove, and I want to know from his perspective how he remembers that, because that was a tough time in this city.
Got to go right now. 1017 FM, 710 Keel. Here's Rush.
Senator Elizabeth Warren still running for president. You may have forgotten, but she is. And she recently talked about her childhood at a campaign event. She told a very heart-wrenching story, which we'll assume is true, unlike her Native American heritage. Yeah, her dad had a heart attack. He pulled through, but he couldn't work anymore. So her mother, who had never worked, went to the workforce. She took a minimum wage gig at Sears and saved the family from going under. Now, her point had nothing to do with the get-it-done character of her mom or the value of hard work. Elizabeth Warren's point was that her mom was able to take care of the family on a minimum wage, which I frankly don't believe, but we'll go with it. She says that today's minimum wage earner should be able to support a spouse, a kid, an abortion here and there, and maybe a mortgage payment. Well, what would that take? $50,000 a year, $100,000? I'm just throwing the numbers out. Why not $1 million? I mean, $1 million would cover most people and however many number of abortions they want. But after we pay off their student loans and give them free college and free health care and a universal guaranteed income, why should they ever work? Why should they get an education? Who was ever going to need a job, Sears or otherwise? You know, there's no one quite like your mom. And with Mother's Day just around the corner, surprise her with a gift as unique as she is, Sherry's Berries. These are huge strawberries, folks. They're covered in decadent toppings, like chocolate chips, chopped nuts, white milk, dark chocolatey goodness. Yummy. Sherry's Berries offering these huge, freshly dipped strawberries starting at $19.99 plus shipping. And right now, you can double the berries for just $10 more. Pick your delivery date, and these berries will be guaranteed to arrive fresh and delicious, or you get your money back. Now, the best way to get this gift and deal is to visit berries.com. Click on the microphone in the top right corner. Use my name as the code. That's BERRIES for those of you in Riolinda.com, and just enter the code RUSH. Mother's Day is right around the corner. It seems like it's a ways off, but it's right around the corner, and this deal will not last long. Order now.
The intersection at Kings Highway and Linwood Avenue is dealing with some slow-moving traffic right now, and we have some traffic delays on East Texas Street near Hamilton Road in Bossier City. If you have anything to report to us, give us a call at the Planet Fitness Traffic Hotline. That's 687-ROAD.
Well, lots of clouds around today. Scattered showers and thunderstorms expected to pop up this afternoon. Some gusty winds and hail are possible. 81. Thunderstorm chance through the night tonight, low 64. Morning showers tomorrow, then partly cloudy for the afternoon, 79. And Sunday, sunny skies in the forecast, high 82. Richard Weddick at the Weather Channel.
Breaking news and trending talk. This is 1017 FM and 710 Keel. KEEL, Shreveport.
Good morning, just after 7 o'clock. Robert and Erin, 1017 FM, 710 Keel. Down yonder, Miss Erin has local news in a second or two.
There were some tornadoes that roared through yesterday. Oh, guess what? A school board employee uses school board email to tell folks to vote yes. The problem is you just can't do that. And there's an election in Bossier Parish for teachers tomorrow, too.
A little more with State Rep Cedric Glover. You guys go back about 30 or 35 years practically.
A long time,
You drove him home from school. And Ben Riggs from the mayor's office, standing by.
He brought something, yeah.
Your 35th anniversary show.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
God, so long.
It's not over yet. Don't get cocky. Traffic and weather, Fletcher and sports, all coming up this hour right here on Keel.
KEEL Morning Report, now on 1017 FM and 710 KEEL.
A Caddo School Board employee sent out an email supporting tomorrow's millage renewal. The letter asked for support for the measure and said all employees should encourage friends and family to go out and vote yes. Caddo School Board has responded to the email by saying the letter was not authorized and was not sent on behalf of the school board. Spokesperson says leadership never saw the letter and that actions have been taken to correct the error. Now, there is another big election tomorrow in Bossier Parish. It's to fund a new millage for teacher pay increases. Shreveport National Weather Service says Thursday's storm caused 3 EF1 tornadoes. The twisters hit Stanley, Louisiana, and Mansfield, and also Huxley, Texas. While the tornadoes did cause some damage, including downed trees and some damage to structures, no injuries reported. The Public Safety Committee discusses crossing guards in Shreveport. Matt Parker with that.
The Shreveport City Council Public Safety Committee got together with Police Chief Ben Raymond to discuss the number of crossing guards in the city. The group agrees that crossing guards are needed, but think there may be too many on staff. According to Chief Raymond, there are 92 guards who work in the city. Shreveport Police pays for the majority of those employees. The City Council is considering several changes to the way the city handles crossing guards, including cutting them out of SPD's budget. From 1017 FM and 710 KEEL, I'm Matt Parker.
The Shreveport Fire Department announces the department's first female arson investigator, Janet Ward, a 19-year department vet, was promoted to the position after becoming the first woman to complete all requirements to become a certified fire inspector. No more tackle football for the YMCA in Northwest Louisiana. Protecting children, a top priority, and medical experts concur brain injuries over time can cause serious health issues, and these brain injuries have been linked back to tackle football.
Time after time, you take a kid that's 7 years old, put him in a helmet, he's hitting 80, 90, 100 times a season. That's damaging the brain. Mm-hmm. And the brain doesn't fully develop till age 12 to protect from those hits.
Beginning in the fall of this year, the YMCA locally will shift all of its football leagues to flag football only. A Benton High School junior joins an elite club. Chase Taylor scored a 36 on the ACT, the highest score possible. Last year, of the nearly 2 million students who took the ACT, only 3,700 earned a perfect score. ACT CEO Martin Rorta says this achievement is significant and rare. Vice President Mike Pence arrives in Lafayette this afternoon. He'll visit Mount Pleasant Baptist Church, one of the 3 churches recently torched in St. Landry Parish. Pence, speaking at the White House during a national day of prayer, says the world condemns the recent attacks at religious buildings.
We live in a time when we have witnessed unspeakable attacks on people of faith. At a synagogue in California just a few short days ago. At mosques in New Zealand. At historically black churches in Louisiana.
The churches have seen an outpouring of support with a GoFundMe page raising over $2 million in donations for the rebuilding efforts. Actor Peter Mayhew, who played Chewbacca in the Star Wars films, has died. Mayhew died at his home in Texas. He was 74. And Scrabble is out with a new dictionary of some words that are now acceptable in the game. The new words include dad bod, yowza, bay, manspreading, and fleek. And finally, this morning, a man drops his 39-year-old son off at a bank in Maine so his son could cash a check. But the son robbed the bank instead. Dad was pulled over when the description of his car was put out on the radio. Dad was subsequently not charged. Police say he didn't know anything about what his son was going to do. I'm Erin McCarty on 101.7 FM and 710 KEEL.
One 101.7 FM, 710 KEEL, traffic time. Here's Ruben.
The intersection at North Spring Street and East Stoner Avenue is dealing with some slow-moving traffic right now. And we have some traffic delays on Old Minden Road near Airline Drive in Bossier City. If you have anything to report to us, give us a call at the Planet Fitness Traffic Hotline. That's 687-ROAD.
Well, lots of clouds around today. Scattered showers and thunderstorms expected to pop up this afternoon. Some gusty winds and hail are possible. 81. Thunderstorm chance through the night tonight, low 64. Morning showers tomorrow, then partly cloudy for the afternoon, 79. And Sunday, sunny skies in the forecast, high 82. Richard Wettig at the Weather Channel.
1017 FM, 710 Keel, Robert J. Wright and Erin McCarty. The 35th anniversary show.
Wow.
35 years ago today was your first day on the radio in the Shreveport market. In this building.
In this very building.
What was then KWKH AM and FM?
Yes.
Or was it K-Rock back then?
It was K-Rock. The FM was K-Rock for until that fall. They pulled the plug and, made it FM.
Do you remember who was the morning show on? Was it Hal Bundrick and Alan Pomeroy then?
No, it was Peggy and there was another guy. I forget his name.
Because I think Bundrick's still on the radio in Natchitoches. Alan Pomeroy passed away a couple of years ago, and I worked with him at KEEL in the early 70s.
It was just a great group of people. Larry Scott did a trucking show next door on KWKH overnights.
Let me ask you. There were 2 radio stations here then. In what is I don't know up from square feet. What do you think? This is a 10,000 square foot building, 8,000?
Probably, yeah.
And there's 2 radios. There's 6 here now. 2 radio stations then.
Mm-hmm.
How many people worked at those 2 radio stations?
Way more people. We had every shift had a DJ, at least 1 or 2
combined. Sales, traffic, the business end of the building.
We had a full production staff. I mean, it was
50 people, 60 people,
50 plus, something like that. I mean, we were owned at the time by a company called Great Empire Broadcasting, out of Wichita, Kansas. That was the mothership, and I made one trip to the mothership on that small little bitty plane.
Obviously, that's what you called it 30 years ago.
Yeah, it was a little bitty plane, little bitty rinky-dink plane. They flew me up to Wichita to see how they do, their system there. The buildings are almost identical, except they had a basement.
We've done a lot of redecorating in this building over the last few years.
Mm-hmm.
Thank God. The first time I walked in here, all I could think was, in an old Shreveport reference, I said, it looks like a Brangus feedlot without peanuts. State Representative Cedric Glover is here. Ben Riggs from the mayor's office joins us in a couple of seconds. What did you want to talk to?
I want to ask Cedric, because 1980
Shreveport history stuff.
Yeah,
today,
the 1988 riots. I was here. I covered that. I was at that corner of 79th and Line Avenue later that day. After, if folks don't remember, a KTBS car was burned to the ground there at that corner. How much do you remember about that incident and what happened?
I remember it very vividly, and I remember the events that led up to it. The most frequent shout you heard that night was Hot Biscuit.
Yes.
Was what again?
Hot Biscuit.
Yes.
Why?
Because of the killing of a young man at the Hot Biscuit restaurant that was located at the corner of Mansfield Road and West 70th Street.
Right.
He'd had a young black man walk in, had an encounter with a white family there. That escalated, led to the father of the young man going out to the vehicle, getting a shotgun, giving it to his son, and he killed a young black man with a shot to the chest with a double-aught buckshot.
Mm-hmm. And there had been no action taken against him. And the community was very upset about this. At the corner of Line, at that convenience store, what was the name of the store at 79th? A young woman went in. Her name was Tammy Virgo, and she went into that store.
Actually, not in the store.
No, she did not. You're
They
right.
Two of them in the car.
Yes.
And there was a drug transaction going on, and there was a dispute between the young man who was selling the drugs and the Tammy Virgo and her passenger who were buying, and that resulted in Tammy pulling out a gun, firing indiscriminately, and striking a young man who was an innocent bystander.
And then she ran into the store where they sheltered her, and people got really angry. And it just bubbled up and exploded from there, and it went on for how many days, Cedric?
Well, it pretty much that night. In terms of the incident itself, you had Chief Charles Gruber, who many folks really disliked.
Yes.
However, within the black community, he was well respected because this was still George Dortois' police department at that time. And Mayor Hussey, to his credit, professionalized the Shreveport Police Department, brought in outside leadership to help wrangle in the good old boys. And instead of doing what many wanted to do, which was to put on the riot gear and go in and start basically shooting people, Chief Gruber decided, let's contain this, allow it to burn itself out, limit the fuel to it, And in the morning, everything at this point will be over, and you ended up with no other lives lost other than the young man that Tammy Virgo shot.
Not to go way off track here, because I know we want to talk about Erin's anniversary and stuff, but speaking of old names, I was out at the downtown airport the other day, and the plaque on the wall out there with Clyde Fant, George Dartois, all the commissioners, which, by the way, we can't have anymore.
Commissioners?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Public safety commissioner.
Absolutely. That was the they called it the Galveston Commission form of government.
Calhoun Allen was on the list. He was commissioner of I don't remember, but he succeeded Clyde Fant as mayor. So it was just an interesting bit of Shreveport history dated 1968.
That was they call that the Galveston Commission form of government, where you have an elected mayor, and then you have various commissioners who are responsible for the day-to-day management and operation of various functions of city government: public finance, public works, public safety. And it was Hillary Huckabee and Lewis Pendleton who filed suit against the city of Shreveport, and who said that at-large system of electing people to office is discriminatory. That's why you only had one zip code. Every elected official in Shreveport came from the 71106. They lived in South Highlands, Piermont.
Right.
You didn't have Hazel Beards out in Southern Hills, or anybody from North Shreveport and what have you, because all the power was concentrated into one small geographic region.
You made an interesting point. You said when Erin started on KWKH in 1984, you were what, in high school?
No, just out of high school.
Yeah.
I was in college, 19 years old.
That's incredible.
18, 19.
Thank you for coming in.
Thank you guys for having me. Congratulations, and congratulations on the Gracie Award.
Oh, yeah.
I'm one of the folks who's old enough to remember George Burns and Gracie.
Yes.
And,
I'm excited.
Say goodnight, Gracie.
That's gonna be a trip to New York, which I'm excited about.
Well, and get you out of the drawstring pants.
Yes, absolutely.
Oh no. She's just getting some bedazzled drawstring pants.
Yeah, there you go. Cedric, thanks for coming in.
Don't bedazzle the drawstring; it'll get caught.
Yeah, you got it.
On what? 101.7 FM, 710 Keel traffic update. Here's Ruben.
The intersection at North Spring Street and East Stoner Avenue is dealing with some slow-moving traffic right now. And we have some traffic delays on Old Minden Road near Airline Drive in Bossier City. If you have anything to report to us, give us a call at the Planet Fitness Traffic Hotline. That's 687-ROAD.
Well, lots of clouds around today. Scattered showers and thunderstorms expected to pop up this afternoon. Some gusty winds and hail are possible. 81. Thunderstorm chance through the night tonight, low 64. Morning showers tomorrow, then partly cloudy for the afternoon, 79. And Sunday, sunny skies in the forecast, high 82. Richard Wettig, the Weather Channel.
1017 FM, 710 KEEL. Robert J. Wright and Erin McCarty. That KEEL app is always a free download presented by Office Furniture Source. So what kind of car did you have when you moved here in 1984?
Oh, that's so funny you asked that. I had a 1980 Toyota Tercel, which they don't even make anymore.
Yeah.
Little bitty car. And
what was your monthly on that? Do you remember?
Didn't have a monthly. I never had a monthly. I'm the kind of gal that I buy my cars outright from jump.
Seriously?
Always have.
I don't think I've ever not had a car payment.
I
to me,
save
life is
up the
monthlies.
money.
That's all. Life's about the monthlies.
I save up the money every month. Every month I put money aside for my car note. I pay to myself. And then when it's time to buy a car, I have a lump sum of money that I go and say, here, I want a car. What can I buy with this?
You look to me, and I'm not guessing here because I know you pretty well.
Mm-hmm.
I just assume that when you walk into a car dealership, you're the kind of customer that salespeople avoid. You just seem to me that
no,
would be,
they love me.
Yeah, right, okay.
They love me.
Like you're gonna squeeze the last freaking dime out of those poor guys.
Our pal Ben Riggs is in studio with us today, and he brought a proclamation from His Honor the Mayor. Correct?
Yes.
I'm kind of afraid of this.
I'm kind of looking forward to it.
Well, I want to start by saying congratulations.
Thank
35
you.
years is a long time.
You're not
so
even
long.
35, are you?
No, I'm 36. So so when you moved here from Baton Rouge in '84, had you tracked me down, I would have been
diapers.
In diapers, trying to stand up and walk.
Oh Lord, thanks for bringing that up.
Like
not a problem.
Tonight, as a matter of fact,
And Robert mentioning the whole salespeople being scared of you. I can say that I look down and I see a text message or a phone call from a reporter.
Yeah.
And typically there's it. I go to a defensive posture.
Right.
You're one of the few that's not true about.
Oh, cool.
I always enjoy talking to you.
Don't tell her that.
Well,
It'll make her try harder.
Thank you very much.
Oh.
I enjoy it. And he's a very bright man.
I retract that.
He's a very and you know what? I can tell him I think you're nuts. I think this is stupid. I think you're making a mistake. And he can argue with me. We can argue back and forth. And I respect that, and I hope you the same for me as well.
Oh, I respect it and enjoy it. I mean,
Yes.
I love to argue. I love to debate. In my
Okay.
house, it was one of those things. If you wanted $5 to go to the movies, you had to be able to articulate a reason for it.
Right.
And so
exactly.
I've learned. That's just how I've learned to communicate.
Yeah. All right. I want to hear this lovely proclamation. Which
All right.
I'm is it like Erin McCarty Day in Shreveport today? Did we make it that?
I don't know.
Okay. Well, you have the power to sign off on that thing.
All right. So, whereas Erin McCarty moved from Baton Rouge to Shreveport, Louisiana in 1984 after graduating from Louisiana State University, and whereas she began working as a reporter for KWKH 35 years ago and has been a thorn in our side ever since, and whereas she teamed up with Robert J. Wright on K94.5 in August of 1996 and things just got worse. Whereas
you're on the money so far there, kid.
Yeah, you are.
Whereas she and Robert created a morning show on KEEL Radio in 2014, which is now the go-to local morning show and a source of commentary that is the political equivalent of Vienna sausages. Whereas, in all seriousness,
Wow.
Erin McCarty may have been born in Baton Rouge, but she is a Shreveporter at heart. Whereas she is a single mom who raised two boys who went on to serve in the United States Marine Corps. And whereas she has served on numerous boards, committees, and commissions that promote the public interest. And whereas she has demonstrated a commitment to report the news and inform the public for more than 3 decades. Now, therefore, I, Adrian D. Perkins, Mayor of the City of Shreveport, do hereby proclaim Friday, May 3rd, 2019, as Erin McCarty Day in the City of Shreveport to honor the 35-year anniversary of her career in radio and journalism. In witness hereof, I, Mayor Adrian Perkins, have hereunto set my hand and caused the seal of the City of Shreveport to be affixed.
So basically,
cool.
if you're driving around today and you see all the flags at City Hall at half-mast,
Yeah.
you'll know why. Congratulations.
Well, that's very sweet.
That was awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
And please tell Adrian we appreciate it. And he's joining us Monday morning, no holes barred, right?
No, I don't know what that means, but okay.
Well, thank you for coming in.
Yeah, thank y'all for having me.
There is
Congratulations.
a gentleman in the corner.
Oh, I love this man.
Give us 30 seconds on who's coming up.
Oh, this is former Mayor John Hussey. He was the mayor when I moved here, and he was mayor when the Cedar Grove riots happened. And he and I have a story to tell you about a night we were together in this very room. You gotta stand by and listen.
And there is someone else standing by on the phone. We'll take a short break, and we'll get right back with...
cool.
Oh, you have no idea. Well, maybe you do. You booked your own show. 101.7 FM, 710 KEEL. Here's Ruben. Local news just ahead.
The intersection at Greenwood Road and Hearn Avenue is dealing with some slow-moving traffic right now. And we have some traffic delays on Benton Road just north of I-220 in Bossier City. If you have anything to report to us, give us a call at the Planet Fitness Traffic Hotline. That's 687-ROAD.
Well, lots of clouds around today. Scattered showers and thunderstorms expected to pop up this afternoon. Some gusty winds and hail are possible. 81. Thunderstorm chance through the night tonight, low 64. Morning showers tomorrow, then partly cloudy for the afternoon, 79. And Sunday, sunny skies in the forecast, high 82. Richard Wettig at the Weather Channel.
.101.7 FM, 710 KEEL. Robert J. Wright and Erin McCarty. That KEEL app is always a free download presented by Office Furniture Source. A visit with former Mayor John Hussey in just a couple of seconds. You've got some awesome stories to exchange.
Yeah, I
but
love
first,
this, man.
sort of a surprise gift you don't know, a surprise
I don't know
guest
about this?
you don't
Okay.
know about.
All right.
Our parent company is Town Square Media, and the CEO of said Town Square Media is a gentleman named Mr. Bill Wilson, and I believe he is standing by. Hey, Mr. Bill, welcome to KEEL. How are you this morning?
No way.
Good morning, Robert. How you guys doing down there?
Getting younger every day. How's about yourself?
I wanted to give a shout-out to Erin on 35 amazing years, an amazing milestone. I know I saw you a couple months ago, and just what you're doing for the community, both of you every day, but Erin, for 35 years, couldn't be more proud of you, and I look forward to celebrating with you your Gracie Award in New York City in a couple weeks now. So I just couldn't be more pleased for you. The show's been amazing. I've been listening since you went on the air, and just to have all your guests and so many people you've had such an impact on, I just wanted to thank you for what you do for your community and also for Town Square.
Well, Bill, thank you for calling. That means so much to me that you took the time to call in.
Oh, you mean so much to me, too.
Thank you, Bill. Appreciate it.
All right, have a great day. Congrats again.
See you soon, Mr. Bill. Thank you for the time.
Take care, Robert.
Okay, standing by is a gentleman who is the mayor of Shreveport from, Mr. John, move in on that mic just a little bit. You were mayor of Shreveport from
1982 to 90.
82 to 90. Mm-hmm. A blink of an eye, I would imagine, in retrospect.
Right.
Was that fun for you? Was it a fun job?
It was. I enjoyed it. There's no job like it.
How do you mean?
Well,
go ahead, I'm sorry.
The mayor is the one elected official that represents the whole city. All the other elected officials represent parts of the city. The mayor represents the whole city, and you get to accomplish things. When you're in Congress or in the Senate or governor, you don't really get to see things get done. But when you're the mayor, you get to build things.
Now,
I built a lot of things.
How did, and you can both jump in on this one, how did you two meet? Your relationship is pretty lengthy. And the way you describe it, you probably have, am I off base, more of a personal relationship with Mr. John than maybe anybody else in politics in the last 30 years?
Well, while he was mayor, he came to my wedding, for crying out loud. He sent a gift. He's
He made
always
a wrong
been
turn on the way to the what
I
happened?
don't know. I'm not sure. He's that kind of guy. He's the kind of guy that when you're dealing with him and you have a working relationship with him, he wants to know about your life. He wants to know, about what you're doing, and he cared. But it was covering city council meetings. I mean, I was at the city council meeting. He could tell you, I was sitting there with my little cassette player every meeting and would ask questions.
I remember that. I remember when Erin first came here in the mid-'80s. Mm-hmm. We were all a lot younger then.
Yes.
It's interesting because we will talk about Shreveport history and mayors, and we'll have like these little quizzes from Mayor Clyde Fant. Can you go forward to today? And every time your name comes up, she speaks of you so fondly and and so flatteringly. Not to put you on the spot, can you possibly do the same?
Well, I remember the first time I met Erin. She came to, I think it was a city council meeting, and we were covered by different media all the time. And here comes this young, small woman who walks in.
What was that again?
She started asking all these questions. And I said, "Who is this?"
Let me tell you a John Hussey story real quick. Because we had a show back then called Party Line on KWKH. It was a Sunday night show, and we rotated who hosted it. There was 4 of us, and so once a month you hosted it. You kind of booked your guests, and they came into the studio, and it was an hour-long show, and people could call in and talk. Well, one particular Sunday, I'm not sure what year it was, John would know, he was my guest in studio for this Party Line show when Shreveport goes under a tornado warning. Now, if you're historic, KWKH and tornado stuff, we went into full coverage mode. Everybody came in. We went out in our mobile units. Whoever was on the board at the time would do the broadcast. Well, how great is it to go under a tornado warning and you have the mayor of the city sitting in the room with you? And I know he just picked up the phone and he started making that night. You remember that night?
Oh, do I remember it? I sure do. The tornado came through. It came out in southwest Shreveport, and I remember going out there, and very vividly, I remember that the tornado picked up a car and rammed it into the second floor of a house. So you could look up to the second floor of a house, and here's the rear end of a car sticking out of it.
Wow.
It was a wild time. It caused a lot of destruction.
It really did.
It was a nervous time.
It was just nice to, that night while I'm throwing it to mobile units here, and I'm like, and now let's talk to the mayor. Who'd you just get off the phone with that you can tell us more about? And of course he had to leave, because he had to go out and be out there. But I just thank you for all your years. You've been an incredible public servant. And you look great. You really do.
Well, thank you. You've done a great job. I was at a forum recently, and Erin was there and asking questions about everybody, and she knew more about it than most of the government
Not much
officials.
has changed, has it? No.
Thank you for coming in, John. We appreciate it.
Former Mayor John, it's our pleasure. It's nice to meet you. We had not met before.
We hadn't met.
It is my pleasure.
Listened to you a long time.
Thank you, sir, very much. 101.7 FM, 710 Keel. More guests on the way. We have, let's see, Bishop Larry Brandon from Praise Temple is standing by. Mm-hmm. He's videoing all of this. This is such an awesome day.
It's going to be a good
and
day.
State Senator Beryl Peacock is here.
You bet.
Who just sort of wandered in also. More on the way. Happy anniversary, baby. Traffic update. Here's Ruben.
The intersection at Greenwood Road and Hearn Avenue is dealing with some slow-moving traffic right now. And we have some traffic delays on Benton Road just north of I-220 in Bossier City. If you have anything to report to us, give us a call at the Planet Fitness Traffic Hotline. That's 687-ROAD.
Lots of clouds around today. Scattered showers and thunderstorms expected to pop up this afternoon. Some gusty winds and hail are possible. 81. Thunderstorm chance through the night tonight, low 64. Morning showers tomorrow, then partly cloudy for the afternoon, 79. And Sunday, sunny skies in the forecast, high 82. Richard Wettig at the Weather Channel.
.107 FM 710 Keel. Robert J. Wright and Erin McCarty. Joining us for a little bit is Bishop Larry Brandon from Praise Temple. Full Baptist.
Praise Temple is fine.
What on
or
earth?
PraiseTemple.com, huh?
Every time
for the millennials.
you come in, because I see you once every 60 to 75 days.
Oh, listen. Here
He's
you go.
a rail.
My ego booster.
You're a rail.
Yeah, well, I have 7 pounds to go, and that's my desired weight. And I've been looking like a hobo on Sundays. My suits are wearing me instead of me wearing the suits.
Now I'm not going to throw any numbers out like where we started and where we are.
Yes.
But your original goal when you started about maybe, 18 months ago?
Yeah, it was about almost 2 years ago.
And
I
your
was
goal was to
I was
lose-
approaching 280, if not a little over 280.
What?
But now I'm 230-ish.
You're
and I have a few more. I want to go back to the weight when I separated from the military. That's when my wife was really in love with me. So I'm Wanda, good morning.
When you work the room, it's a big room.
Oh,
I would never in a million years guessed you weighed 225 or 230.
Right. Well, I did. I joined the Air Force, and I was actually at age 18. I was weighing 195 at the age of 18, and then I progressed to 215.
You know what I weighed when I got out of high school? Ask me. Take a shot. Take a wild guess. I was the same height I am now, right at 6 feet tall.
Are you serious?
When I graduated high school in spring of 1970.
Are you serious?
I was 6 feet tall and weighed 118 pounds.
Wow.
My pant size literally was. Try and find these at Palais Royal in 1970.
Oh, man.
Or Selber Brothers. Get those Jesuit pants.
Come on, right, Jesuit pants. That's too
funny. My pant size was 28-36
back in the day.
Back in the day. Larry.
Back in the day.
Larry
I remember
Brandon.
34-34.
I want to get serious a minute because when I grow up, I want to be you.
Oh, no.
I want to be someone who spends their every waking moment making this community and the people around you better people.
Well, thank you.
And
Well, you have for
hope
35
I've done a little.
years,
I hope I've done a little
Well,
bit.
I'm here to celebrate you. 35 years serving the community through radio, and it's a tremendous blessing. Because when you got started, I was just reading, that was the year that Marvin Gaye died, what's going on, and then the Vatican restored diplomatic relationships with the United States of America. And then, fun fact, the Milwaukee Brewers and the White Sox had 25 innings in Major League Baseball.
Wow.
The longest, 8 hours.
Wow.
In 1984.
I'll be darned.
Yes, indeed.
Where were you in 1984?
In 1984, I was getting ready to join the military. I just graduated from high school in 1983.
Oakland, right?
Yeah, in Oakland, California. Yes, indeed. So I was doing a little community work with the church, at that point, and then, of course, trying to figure out what I was going to do because I was supposed to go to then the Bishop's College. I had a full 4-year scholarship, but I decided to serve my country, and I joined the United States Air Force in 1985.
Well, thank you for coming in.
Yeah, thank you, but congratulations.
Yeah. I mean, seriously.
Sure, I appreciate it, but congratulations.
Thank
35 years, what a blessing. I would have missed this for the world.
Yes.
Let's move over to
and
the
I
other
have
chair,
something for you.
And State Senator Barrow Peacock is here. Stay right there. Don't go. You have to write down your exercise regimen.
I must have missed this because I watched the legislature in action a lot. But they must have done this while I was on the road. You brought a present.
We do everything above board in Baton Rouge. Don't say that we would do anything you just much be watching the House of Representatives and not the Senate.
Let's just pray this passed unanimously, I hope.
This passed, and it passed. It was the 2019 regular session Senate Resolution number 95.
Ooh, okay.
By Senator Peacock. A resolution, and I do not have a voice for radio.
Okay.
And I hope it's all right because Robert gave us a little information.
Yeah.
But he wasn't too forthcoming, so we
Wasn't
had to
too
do
truthful either.
Right.
And so I will read it, but if you need to cut me off,
okay,
please do, Robert.
No.
And
I would never cut anyone off.
To commend Erin McCarty of 710 KEEL on an exceptional career in radio broadcasting, and to congratulate her upon recipient of the 2019 Gracie Award presented by the Alliance for Women in Media Foundation. And that's AWMF because it's going to be further in the. Whereas Erin McCarty is a 35-year veteran of broadcast journalism and has brightened the airwaves of Shreveport-Bossier for more than 25 years. And whereas Erin McCarty is a worthy recipient of the honor presented by the AWMF that recognizes those extraordinary women in broadcasting and acknowledges their superb accomplishments in media venues. And whereas, named for the comedian Gracie Allen of the famous entertainment duo Burns and Allen, the 44th Annual Gracie Awards celebrate outstanding programming and individual achievement by women in radio, television, and interactive media. And whereas Erin McCarty won the top female talk show host in the category of talk personality in small, medium markets as a local co-host in a non-syndicated program. And whereas on the air, Erin McCarty shines as one half of the Robert and Erin in the Morning Show on 710 KEEL News Radio, a news and talk radio format broadcast in the weekdays morning time slot. She covers the latest topics that impact local, state, national, and international news, along with her co-host of 23 years, Robert J. Wright. And whereas a graduate of Baton Rouge Magnet High School, Erin earned her undergraduate degree from Louisiana State University in 1983 and earned her chops in broadcasting on KLSU 91.1, the student-run campus radio station. And whereas after graduation, Erin explored other radio venues in Tyler, Texas, Norfolk, New Jersey, Lubbock, Texas, before finding her niche in Northwest Louisiana. And whereas In the Arklatex region, Erin established a broad audience base on Shreveport radio stations KWKH, KRUF, KVKI, and presently on KEEL. And whereas 710 KEEL is owned by Town Square Media, Inc., a radio network and media company that has 5 sister stations in the Shreveport-Bossier market, and whereas Erin McCarty has an open and friendly persona that her audience finds enjoyable and very approachable, these fine characteristics add to the winning dynamics of the Robin and Erin morning show. And whereas Erin gives back to the community in a variety of ways, including service as a member of the board of directors of Loving Solutions, a faith-based recovery program for women who struggle with substance addiction, and whereas she is the proud mother of 2 grown sons, J.W. and John, who both served in the United States Marine Corps, and whereas Erin shall attend the Gracie Award luncheon to accept her prize on Wednesday, June 26, 2019 in New York City, and whereas on May 3rd, Erin will be honored with a special presentation by friends and colleagues to show their appreciation for her fine character and work ethics, and whereas by honor this outstanding individual, Erin McCarty, women in media are encouraged to elevate their careers and contribute to their communities. Therefore, be it resolved that the Senate of the Legislature of Louisiana does hereby commend Erin McCarty of 710 KEEL on an exceptional 35-year career in radio broadcasting and congratulating her upon receipt of the 2019 Gracie Awards. Be it further resolved that a copy of this resolution be transmitted to Erin McCarty of Shreveport. John Alario, President of the Senate.
Wow.
Awesome.
That's awesome.
So congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Now, I don't understand. You must, after 35 years, sort of be slacking that you're not keeping up with us in Baton Rouge.
I know. I should have known you did this, huh? I should have been watching. My bad.
But
Thank you.
Outstanding, and thank you. I mean, I'll listen to you in the morning from Baton Rouge to know what we're doing in Baton Rouge sometimes. So
that's cool.
Thank you, I mean, for what you do for Shreveport-Bossier and for the entire state of
You
Louisiana.
had mentioned a couple of seconds ago when you came in, when former Mayor Hussey was here. You said, I cut my political teeth on the Hussey campaign. I said, tell me. You said, well, I was in 6th grade.
I was 11 years old. His campaign was in the fall. My mother took me over to his campaign office on a Saturday morning, and I went out and put out yard signs. And they weren't the nice little wire ones. They were the ones with the wood stakes.
Oh, wow.
And this was August. It was hot. The ground was tough, and you had to have a mallet, and you had to hammer that sign in. And then you had to use the old-timey staple gun to put those, and they were cardboard. They weren't this nice plastic that lasts.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So I did that and went over there and to see that campaign work and doing that, and that really started it for me to say. And I always thought, Shreveport, in our area, it's not us here in Shreveport are causing it's us, it's those people in Baton Rouge, our state. So I'm gonna run for the legislature one day, and we're gonna get this fixed so Shreveport-Bossier can be all that it can be.
Wow. Well, thank you for everything you do for me, because I know you're very accessible and always on top of anything I ask you, and always willing to answer the questions.
Well, there was one line left out of this resolution.
Yeah.
Annoying text messages sent before. Somehow that didn't make it into this resolution.
Oh, well.
That was what I led with.
Oh, yeah, I know.
State Senator Barrow Peacock, thank you so much. A pleasure as always.
Well, thank you, Robert, for giving me this information up front about what was going on.
Most of it was correct. 101.7 FM, 710 KEEL. Traffic update coming up right now. Here's Ruben on KEEL.
The intersection at Greenwood Road and Hearn Avenue is dealing with some slow-moving traffic right now. And we have some traffic delays on Benton Road just north of I-220 in Bossier City. If you have anything to report to us, give us a call at the Planet Fitness Traffic Hotline. That's 687-ROAD.
Well, lots of clouds around today. Scattered showers and thunderstorms expected to pop up this afternoon. Some gusty winds and hail are possible. 81. Thunderstorm chance through the night tonight, low 64. Morning showers tomorrow, then partly cloudy for the afternoon, 79. And Sunday, sunny skies in the forecast, high 82. Richard Wettig at the Weather Channel.
101.7 FM, 710 Keel. Time for sports. Here's Tim.
Good morning from the sports desk of 1130 The Tiger. This is Tim Fletcher. The Mudbugs aren't boiled yet, facing elimination after giving up a 3-goal third-period lead Wednesday night in Game 4 of their South Division Championship Series. The Bugs shut out Amarillo 2-zip in Game 4 last night. The final game of the postseason at Georges Pond at Hurst Coliseum featured goals from a pair of original Mudbugs playing their final game at home. Yergy Fedulov lit the lamp with 3:48 to play in the second period to give the Bugs a 1-zip lead. And then in the closing moments, Jay Fewell, the captain, added an empty net goal in the closing moments to back a spectacular performance by goalie Leo Schwar. The winner-take-all Game 5 is set for Sunday in Amarillo. High school baseball, the Rummel Raiders knocked off Byrd yesterday 5-2 in the quarterfinals of the Division I high school baseball playoffs. The Yellow Jackets certainly had their opportunities, though. They left the bases loaded in the first and fourth inning. Game 2 of the best-of-3 series is set for today at 4 o'clock. Other games today. North Shore visits the Parkway Panthers in Games 1 and 2. Benton will host West Washita at 6 o'clock tonight. North Webster heads over to the northeast part of the state to take on Sterlington at 5. Manny and Welsh play a double dip, Games 1 and 2 at Welsh at 5 and 7. Logansport hosts Grand Lake. Evangel travels down to St. Paul's for a pair of games. Loyola welcomes Parkview at 5 p.m. Calvary has a double dip with Notre Dame. That game is out there on Linwood Avenue. And Cedar Creek visits Ascension at 4 o'clock. And if necessary, Game 3 would be at 7 o'clock. In the big leagues, the Twins beat the Astros 8-2. Former Astro Jason Castro had a home run and 4 RBI. NBA playoffs, the Sixers take a 2-1 series lead with a 116-95 win over Toronto. In the Stanley Cup playoffs, a pair of series even up at 2 wins apiece. Boston beat Columbus 4-1, and Colorado beat San Jose 3-zip. From the sports desk of 1130 The Tiger, this is Tim Fletcher.
.101.7 FM, 710 Keel, Robert J. Wright and Erin McCarty. We don't have much time here. You have a message, a congratulatory message.
From Councilwoman Lavette Fuller. She couldn't make it this morning, but she wanted to send a special message to Erin.
And what might this say?
Lavette says, I'm super proud of Erin and just want to say congratulations on the award, and it's another reason why her name should be first in the lineup. Sorry,
I haven't
Bob.
told you that yet, have I?
What? We're changing?
We're changing, yeah.
Yeah.
It's going to be Erin and Robert in the morning.
It's about damn time that you demanded that. It's. I've been waiting. I've been coming in here biting my lip every day for. She's going to figure this out. She's going to figure this out sometime.
What a cool day.
Who's on the way?
No.
Another little Bishop Larry's going to stick around.
I know one of our U.S. senators is joining us at some point.
We are
I never
anticipating
know.
both Cassidy and
I think
Kennedy.
Bossier City put a proclamation together for me. I think we'll have that in the 8 o'clock hour.
Or an official hit, depends on your
that
traffic
could be
record.
it too. That could be it too.
1017 FM, 710 Keel Weather Channel forecast. Kind of cloudy, chance of rain diminishing through the
Breaking
day.
news and trending talk. This is 1017 FM and 710 Keel. KEEL, Shreveport.
Just past 8 o'clock, Robert and Erin. Foches. 1017 FM, 710 Keel. Robert and Erin, she has local news. It is just a couple of seconds away. What's up?
There's an election tomorrow. Don't forget about it. And a school board employee's in some hot water for sending out an email encouraging folks to vote yes. Well, you really can't do that on company email. We did have some tornadoes roar through yesterday and doing away with tackle football.
So today is your 35th anniversary being on the radio in the Shreveport market. The bevy, the myriad of the boatload of guests will continue this hour, no doubt.
It's amazing.
Been pretty good so far.
Yeah.
Fletcher in sports, traffic, and weather. It's all coming up this hour, and it's right here on Keel.
Morning Report. Now on 1017 FM and 710 KEEL.
Caddo School Board responds to millage support email. Matt Parker with that.
On Wednesday, a Caddo School Board employee sent an email in support of an upcoming millage renewal. The letter asked for support for the measure and said all employees should encourage friends and family to go out and vote yes. The Caddo School Board has responded to the email by saying the email was not authorized and was not sent on behalf of the school board. A spokesperson says leadership never saw the letter and that actions have been taken to correct the error. From 1017 FM and 710 KEEL, I'm Matt Parker.
Voters are also being asked tomorrow to okay a millage increase in Bossier Parish to fund teacher pay raises. Shreveport National Weather Service says Thursday morning storm caused 3 EF tornadoes. The twisters hit Huxley, Texas, Stanley, Louisiana, and Mansfield. While the tornadoes did cause some damage, including downed trees and some structural damage, no injuries reported. The YMCA of Northwest Louisiana says protecting children is a top priority. NFL greats on board, medical experts are on board, and many others. YMCA Director Gary Lash tells us why the decision was made to do away with tackle football.
To be safer for the children because of the risk of concussion, head injuries, early injuries when kids' growth plates.
Beginning in the fall of this year, the YMCA locally will shift all of its football leagues to flag football only. The Shreveport City Council's Public Safety Committee got together with the police chief to talk about the number of crossing guards at our schools. The group agrees the guards are needed, but think there may be too many. According to Chief Raymond, there are 92 guards who work across the city. Shreveport Police pays for the large majority of that. City Council considering several changes to the way the city handles crossing guards, including cutting them out of SPD's budget. Now, members of the school board were invited to the meeting. No one showed up. Vice President Mike Pence arrives in Lafayette today and will visit Mount Pleasant Baptist Church, one of the 3 churches recently torched in St. Landry Parish. Pence will meet with community and church leaders. Southwest Louisiana Congressman Clay Higgins believes the way law enforcement and the church community face the situation stands out to the VP.
I believe in my heart the Vice President is wishing to express his sincere appreciation and respect for the way this horror was handled.
Pence, speaking at the White House during a National Day of Prayer event, says the world condemns the recent attacks at religious buildings. A Benton High School junior joins an elite club. Chase Taylor scored a 36 on the ACT, the highest score possible. Last year, of the nearly 2 million students who took the ACT, only 3,700 earned a perfect score. ACT CEO Martin Rorta says this achievement is significant and very rare. Shreveport Fire Department announces the department's first female arson investigator, Janet Ward, a 19-year department vet, promoted to the position after becoming the first woman to complete all requirements to become a certified fire investigator. Facebook turning its back on a number of extremists, including Alex Jones and Louis Farrakhan. The social networking site says they and others violate its ban on dangerous individuals. The ban applies to both Facebook's main service and to Instagram. Shreveport Mudbugs bounced back, forcing a Game 5 against Amarillo. The Bugs shut out the Bulls 2-0 last night to force Game 5 in the series and keep their championship hopes alive. And a man in Pennsylvania gets so mad at his mom that he flushed the ashes of his grandparents down a toilet. The guy is now charged with 2 counts of abuse of a corpse and criminal mischief. I'm Erin McCarty on 1017 FM and 710 KEEL.
1017 FM 710 Keel traffic for Friday. Here's Ruben.
The intersection at Uri Drive and Southfield Road's dealing with some slow-moving traffic right now. And we have some traffic delays on Airline Drive just north of Shed Road in Bossier City. If you have anything to report to us, give us a call at the Planet Fitness Traffic Hotline. That's 687-ROAD.
Well, lots of clouds around today. Scattered showers and thunderstorms expected to pop up this afternoon. Some gusty winds and hail are possible. 81. Thunderstorm chance through the night tonight, low 64. Morning showers tomorrow, then partly cloudy for the afternoon, 79. And Sunday, sunny skies in the forecast, high 82. Richard Wettig at the Weather Channel.
.117 FM 710 Keel. Robert J. Wright and Erin McCarty. Keel app is a free download presented by Office Furniture Source. Gentlemen, you can both lean into those microphones. You are both welcome. State Representative Alan Seabaugh is here for a couple of seconds.
Man.
State Rep. Yes.
Big dogs are out.
And
yeah.
Bishop
Larry Brandon,
from
who
Brace
I
Temple
love
is-
this man.
Before we get to Alan, I do want to ask Bishop Larry, because you had just gotten back. And I saw all the amazing photos that you have just returned in the last, couple of weeks or so?
Yeah, a couple of weeks from Ghana.
From Ghana.
Yes.
And I said, had you been to Africa previously? And you said you had been to South Africa and
Yes.
to Nigeria.
Nigeria.
What
Of course.
what was the most striking thing about your trip? If I said, what's the one thing that you will remember forever?
Well, the one thing that I don't remember forever is the long flight. No, I'm kidding. I'm telling you. But going to the castles and the history and of course of the slave quarters and what have you, but the history behind how it changed so many hands from Dutch to English to the Portuguese and what have you. And then, of course, how that was managed and that was handled. It left a tremendous impression upon me because, again, I believe in prevention as opposed to detention. Detention is necessary, and that's why we have this forum coming up this Tuesday, Juvenile Justice Forum, because we want to help our children. And so we have Judge Reed Casey coming, Judge Paul Young coming, Commissioner Stormy Watts Gage going to serve as panelist, State Representative Barbara Norton is co-hosting. And so it's happening this Tuesday at 6:30 at Praise Temple Plaza, sponsored by the Northwest Louisiana Community Development Corporation, because again, the summer months are coming, and we want our children to be a part of the policy making of the systems. We don't want them to be a part of the system. So we want to brief parents, grandparents, everybody, bring your children, bring everybody, your family, so we can talk about this.
I remember the day I met you. It was at Brothers Seafood when they
in
were at the
Bossier.
old Villaggio.
That's
They were
right.
At the Villaggio.
Brothers too.
Do you remember how you guys first met?
Boy, I don't. Do you? I don't remember.
No, I don't. We
Through the YWCA, possibly.
Right, and we embraced.
Yes,
we
yes.
had an opportunity to embrace because at the YWCA, they had some type of function when they were raising monies for it. At that time, Roxanne Johnson, remember, was in charge. And you and I embraced and we connected and ever since.
Right.
As young people say, we've been cool ever since.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for coming in today.
Thank you so much for having me, and congratulations again, 35 years.
Before we go, is there a website? Is there where folks can get more information on your juvenile deal?
Sure. They can go to Northwest Louisiana Community Development Corporation.org or the Northwest Louisiana CDC.org.
Praise Temple on Facebook. Got something on
they
there.
can follow me at Larry Lawrence Brandon. Larry Lawrence Brandon on Facebook. We're going to post some more additional information, or go to the Facebook Northwest Louisiana Community Development Corporation. The information will be there as well.
Next time I see you, I expect you to weigh about 165.
Listen to 6 pounds I'm going to lose before I see you the next time. That's my goal.
In advance.
Thank you so much.
There is no doubt in my mind you will achieve your goal.
Well, I appreciate it. Then I won't try to wrestle like Matt does.
Right.
State Representative Alan Seabaugh is here right now. Erin said, I had made the point because Representative Glover and Senator Peacock were here earlier, and I said, just to make her feel more special, just tell folks you still in session. You just drove up from Baton Rouge especially for this morning. So if you would just carry that for me
well, that's obviously true. And no,
it's obviously true.
Now, Erin holds a special place with us because she is the only other woman that my wife will allow to wake me up in the morning. And I very often get those texts, hey, we need you on the air, or are you available? And so, if any other woman was texting me at 6 o'clock in the morning, my wife might be suspicious.
I hadn't thought about that. You're right. I do text a lot of men early in the morning.
Yeah, you do.
And there's
okay.
wives.
We all love you. No, and I'm glad to come in this morning. Just let you know how much we appreciate you and what y'all do and the awareness and just, frankly, getting news out. In this day of changing news outlets, and there is a lot of fake news out there, and there's a lot of people. I mean, it's changing. I mean, newspapers are kind of going away, but radio's still here. And
tell
y'all
folks,
are doing a great job.
Tell folks in Shreveport-Bossier, because I know I hear this from a lot of people. There's a lot of people in Baton Rouge that are actually listening to us in the morning. I mean, not just our local delegation. There's other people that listen to see what are those goofballs in Shreveport talking about today, right?
Well, yeah, y'all are big. I mean, people call and ask me about y'all and mention things regularly that y'all had talked about in the morning. So, yeah, I think that, the fact that you can listen to radio, you can listen to KEEL on the internet, in Baton Rouge. I mean, frankly, when I'm at home, I listen to it on my phone on the internet. Yeah. I don't have a radio except in my car, but we listen to it on the phone, and you can listen to it worldwide.
Yeah,
and it's a good way to follow y'all. Y'all do have a following. When you do it right, people are going to find you, and people are going to listen.
Yeah,
and people have been talking about y'all and the way you cover Louisiana politics, and y'all do it in a unique way.
Right,
and you do a good job, and you cover all sides. And there's obviously some people I think you like more than others, but y'all do let the bad guys on sometimes, and that's
why have I not heard from the governor this morning? I thought maybe he would get through.
I wasn't going to name names.
I'm a little bit upset that he won't call in today.
Speaking of the governor, I don't know if you were at the oil and gas thing the other day. Explain to folks, because I know that if you weren't there, at least you know about it.
Yes.
And explain what happened and why the governor and his folks might have been a little bit miffed about how that came off.
Yeah, I was not there. I had a House Insurance Committee meeting that started at 1 o'clock that I had to be at, so I was not able to be there. What essentially happened is, a couple of years ago, the governor sent letters to the parishes along the Gulf Coast and basically ordered them to file suit against oil and gas companies, accusing them of coastal erosion and other environmental things. And it said, if you don't sue them, the state is going to intervene and sue them on your behalf. That is one of the reasons that oil and gas companies aren't drilling in Louisiana, and they're running for the borders, and they're all doing business in Texas.
Better known as Texas, right?
Yeah. And what happened was Congressman Abraham, with the governor sitting about 4 feet to his right, stood up at the podium and held up the letter. And this is a room full of oil and gas. Of course, the governor had gotten up previously and talked about how great the oil and gas industry is doing, and everybody knows that's just simply not true.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Abraham held up the letter and, told everybody what it was, reminded them of the situation, and tore it up, and then said never again, and then threw it on the ground at the governor's feet.
Whoa!
It was beautiful political theater. Yeah, it was done very, very well. I got to give Congressman Abraham credit. He stole the news cycle on that one.
Yeah,
that was good, and of course the audience loved it. There was a loud roaring of applause because it's accurate. I mean, I cannot think of another instance where a governor of a state encouraged suing the state's top industry to the extent that we're chasing them out of the state. It makes absolutely no sense, and that's what we have in Louisiana. We've lost. 68,000 people have left the state since he became governor, and we've lost way more jobs than that. And when you encourage suing business, when you encourage suing the state's top industry, and it's, we're really close to Texas, which has no income tax,
right,
and knows how to treat business. It's really hard for Louisiana to compete when you have a governor who's openly antagonistic to business.
I got something on the text line that you'll want to know about. The resolution Senator Peacock presented to you is likely the best thing to come out of the Senate.
I wholeheartedly believe that. Yes.
And bipartisan. What a surprise. You okay down there?
I'm all right. It choked me up. Air went down the wrong pipe.
State Representative Alan Seabaugh. Well, never mind. I got a joke there, but we'll let it go.
Don't do it.
State Representative Alan Seabaugh, a pleasure as always. Thank you for taking time.
Thank you
Driving
very much.
all the way up from Baton Rouge this morning.
That was sweet of you.
I'm glad to do it. Left about 4 o'clock this morning.
Wow. Man, all of you must have just driven up together in a caravan,
It was a caravan, yeah.
Don't say caravan. I don't like that.
Oh, you got a problem.
101.7 FM, 710 Keel traffic update now. Here's Ruben.
Just received reports of a minor accident on Pines Road near Buncombe Road, and we have some traffic delays on East Texas Street near Traffic Street in Bossier City. If you have anything to report to us, give us a call at the Planet Fitness Traffic Hotline. That's 687-ROAD.
Well, lots of clouds around today. Scattered showers and thunderstorms expected to pop up this afternoon. Some gusty winds and hail are possible. 81. Thunderstorm chance through the night tonight, low 64. Morning showers tomorrow, then partly cloudy for the afternoon, 79. And Sunday, sunny skies in the forecast, high 82. Richard Wettig, the Weather Channel.
.101.7 FM, 710 Keel. Robert J. Wright and Erin McCarty. Shreveport Security Systems text line 318-392-1884.
Man.
One of your favorites, Andy Grammer. Good to be alive.
Mm-hmm. It is good to be alive.
Standing by is United States Senator Dr. Bill Cassidy. Hey, Dr. Bill, welcome back to Keel. How are you this morning?
Robert, I am great. And Erin, whenever you're having your 35th anniversary of anything, you're right. It's good to be alive.
I'm all choked up today. I don't know what's going on. Thanks for calling in, and thanks for being so accessible to us. We really appreciate that.
Well, not only am I accessible, I am in the car right now with Clay Higgins. If you got a security system that is supporting your radio program right now, Clay Higgins is Mr. Law Enforcement, the congressman down from the Southwest Louisiana, and I want him to tell you a happy 35th too.
Oh, cool!
Happy 35th, you guys! What an amazing accomplishment! It's a testament to your character and your focus. Thank you for serving our community, and I'm just so honored to speak with you briefly this morning. God bless you.
Thank you so much.
I know that you're pressed for time, but we do appreciate you taking a couple of minutes and getting in with Erin for this awesome day. It's always great talking to you, and as always, hope to get you in studio soon. Thank you, sir.
Thank you both. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Okay, so now we're going to the other line, and this is someone that you worked with for a few years here at KWKH, a young lady named Fabian Thrash. Hey, young lady, how are you today?
Well, fine. I'll take that young lady all day long.
I
Thank
said
you.
it
Keep
twice.
going.
I said
Morning,
it twice
girl.
specifically for that
Hey,
reason.
girl. Happy anniversary. Happy felicitations to you. 35 years in broadcasting. I'm so proud of you.
Man, all in this building for a smidge downtown, but in the same market. People don't realize that's pretty crazy these days in this business, correct?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. When people move every other year, kind of like a Methodist minister or something, yeah.
Now, when you first met Erin back in a couple of years ago, let's say.
Yeah, let's say it that way.
I know that you, like most people in the radio industry, your first thought had to be, well, she's not going to last, right?
I knew she was a keeper the first day I met her. In fact, when I first went to KWKH, one of my first assignments was to shadow the news department, and my shadow, of course, was Erin. She took me all over the market. We went all over the place. I went to all of her assignments that day and saw exactly what she did, so I'd have an appreciation of what the big news department at that time still is now. What they did, we went to, I think, the school board. She says, this is the largest employer in this town, and you need to come find out more and so forth. And found out we just had a lot of common, and we really liked each other, and I have just loved Erin ever since.
And she bought drinks. Don't forget about that.
Oh, well, we've been known to throw back one or two.
Yeah.
I remember a particular pizza party that shall go unmentioned.
Yeah, we're not going to talk about that. Yeah, we're not going to talk about that.
My God, look at the time. She says
Fabian, thanks so much for calling in. That was so sweet.
Oh, well, God bless you, girl. Love you, and you guys keep going. It's hard to follow a good interview just like I did, but it's very enjoyable. I just want to say have a great day. Happy 35 years.
Thank you so much.
101.7 FM, 710 KEEL, another voice from your not-too-distant past.
Okay.
Former KEEL Morning Newsman, now in San Antonio, where he runs the radio station, KTSA, right, Dennis? Is that it? Dennis Foley is here.
Wow.
Good morning.
Morning, Dennis. How are you, sir?
I'm doing good. The question is, how are you doing this morning?
I'm doing good.
We wheeled her in. We blew her up with the pump. She's here.
Yeah, I'm here. I got my braces on so I can sit up straight. Dennis, you're a success story that I'm proud of. I brought Dennis to KEEL.
I was going to say, Dennis, Erin hired you originally. God, you were just a kid X number of years ago, right, when you came to work here?
Yeah, she yanked me out of college from New York, dragged me down to Shreveport, and I really have a lot to thank for her for my personal success. Just taking that risk on me to essentially drag me out of college to come down here to Louisiana, to Shreveport, and really get my start at KEEL. And I just wanted to call and really thank her personally for what she's done for me, but also really let the listeners know just how unique Erin McCarty is. Just to have such a jewel in the market who really cares about what's going on locally and isn't a blowhard about it, but really is in depth about what's going on and shares that passion on the air and has been doing this for 35 years. I mean, that's unheard of in the industry, and to have someone here that cares so much about Shreveport, it's a rarity for any city to have, and to have for Shreveport to have Erin McCarty, it's really a blessing for the city.
Well, we keep up with you on Facebook. Your career is for such a still young man. You're just killing it. Congratulations on all the success in Texas, and stay in touch, my friend. Thank you.
Absolutely, thank you.
101.7 FM, 710 Keel traffic update now. Just ahead of local news. Here's Ruben.
Just received reports of a minor accident on Pines Road near Buncombe Road, and we have some traffic delays on East Texas Street near Traffic Street in Bossier City. If you have anything to report to us, give us a call at the Planet Fitness Traffic Hotline. That's 687-ROAD.
Well, lots of clouds around today. Scattered showers and thunderstorms expected to pop up this afternoon. Some gusty winds and hail are possible. 81. Thunderstorm chance through the night tonight, low 64. Morning showers tomorrow, then partly cloudy for the afternoon, 79. And Sunday, sunny skies in the forecast, high 82. Richard Wettig at the Weather Channel.
.101.7 FM, 710 Keel. Robert J. Wright and Erin McCarty, anniversary day, 35 years in Shreveport radio, except for a short stretch downtown. In this building.
Man.
Standing by, another really special guest, United States Senator John Kennedy is here. Hey, Mr. John, welcome back to Keel. How are you this morning? How's things in D.C.?
Well, thanks for having me, folks, and things in D.C. are out of control, as always. I regret that. But
before we lay massive kudos at the feet of Ms. McCarty, I'm watching the bill, the Attorney General Barr stuff. It's insane. It literally is insane. It must be making you crazy.
Well, it's just a waste of time. Look, for 2 years, I defended the right of Mr. Mueller to do his investigation and to release a report. Now, I've not met Mr. Mueller. Bunny says, he's a straight-up guy. So I said, okay, let's get to the bottom of this, and so the American people will know. Well, we did after, 2,000 witnesses, 500 subpoenas, 40 FBI agents. Mueller issued a report. He said no indictment on collusion, no indictment of the president on conspiracy, no indictment on obstruction of justice. And my Democratic friends, at least many of them, they don't want to let it go. They just say, well, they just want to keep litigating and prosecuting the issue, and it's a total waste of time. Bill Barr, the Attorney General, came over to our committee this week. He testified for, I think, 3.5 hours. Some of my colleagues didn't ask him questions. They just harassed him. I mean, they called him every name in the book. He took it, but the point is, it's over. This issue is dead as fried chicken. I mean, it's done. Mueller has told us his conclusions, and if you don't want to accept it, That's your problem. But we need to move on in the United States Senate to trying to figure out how to lower the cost of health insurance and get some roads built in this country. We've got a huge problem in Venezuela. The people in Venezuela are starving to death, and a lot of the Democrats in the House are on the side of the socialist, really he's a communist, Maduro. We've just got a lot of problems we need to face, and all my Democratic friends, that's too broad of a brush. Many of my Democratic friends, they just want to continually to harass the president. Now, I get it. They don't like the president, but a majority of the American people do. He won the election. How about letting him alone, letting him do his job, and then in 2 years, if you don't like him, you can vote against him. But in the meantime, he's the president of the United States, and we ought to let him do his job.
35 years ago today was Erin's, Ms. McCarty's, first day on the radio in Shreveport, here in Shreveport, Louisiana. What was John?
I heard. That's incredible.
What was John Kennedy doing 35 years ago?
I don't know. Let me think. What year was that?
84. 84.
84. I think I was practicing law. I was practicing law and listening to you.
Oh, good. I'm glad you didn't tell me you were a toddler, playing soccer somewhere,
Yeah, I just finished.
I think that's great. I can't imagine holding a job for 35 years. Oh, gosh. That is congratulations. That's really something to be proud of.
They can only do that on the House of Representatives side. Mr. John, we appreciate. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
And in y'all's business, you don't last if you're not good. I mean, that much is clear. It's in my business, that's the same way too. People get mad at you; they vote you out. So if you've been there for 35 years, you're doing something right.
Well, you're right. I've enjoyed it, and I want to thank you for all of your years of cooperation, back to the days when you were a state treasurer, and before that even. Always a cooperative and right to the point kind of guy, answering every question I had, and I can't thank you enough.
Well, that's kind of you. You ask tough questions, but that's what you're supposed to do.
You bet. Senator John Kennedy, thanks for calling in. Appreciate it.
Thanks, guys. Hey, Robert, you need to take Erin out to dinner or something. Buy her a fruit basket, man. Do something.
Yeah.
It's two magic words, John. Drive through. It'll be awesome. A pleasure as always, sir. Thank you.
I'm to buy her a car. Just buy her a car.
Oh, yeah.
Well, that was my second option. Mr. John, we appreciate your
Have a
time.
good weekend, guys.
Take care.
Thank you, sir. 101.7 FM,
Thanks.
710 Keel traffic update. Now, here's Ruben.
Dealing right now with a minor accident on Midway Avenue near Jewella Avenue, and we have some traffic delays on Airline Drive near Barksdale Boulevard in Bossier City. If you have anything to report to us, give us a call at the Planet Fitness Traffic Hotline. That's 687-ROAD.
Well, lots of clouds around today. Scattered showers and thunderstorms expected to pop up this afternoon. Some gusty winds and hail are possible. 81. Thunderstorm chance through the night tonight, low 64. Morning showers tomorrow, then partly cloudy for the afternoon, 79. And Sunday, sunny skies in the forecast, high 82. Richard Wettig, the Weather Channel.
Grab your mic there, kid. 101.7 FM, 710 Keel, Robert J. Wright and Erin McCarty.
Yeah.
This is sort of behind the curtain thing. Pardon us. I have no idea what time we're going to here. You ready?
Did you just go
I'm just
until
gonna
you're
wing
done?
it.
I'll just cue you. Something next we'll play.
Yeah.
I love this because Tracy Landry's joining us, and she represents the city of Bossier. Lo Walker is out of town. He normally would be here. And his proclamations are funny as doo-doo usually.
Sorry, what was that again? No, never mind.
They're
was a
funny as
political
doo-doo.
term.
Yeah. And so I'm kind of looking forward to it because you brought a proclamation, right?
Yes.
Did some folks put some humor in these, I hope?
You know what? You are quite a woman, Erin, after reading this proclamation.
Lord,
I don't know if there's too much humor in it, but
God.
there's
Nor
definitely
an
a lot
ounce
of
of truth for that
accomplishment.
matter.
Yeah. All right. Well, hit me with it. Let's see how bad it is.
All right. This is a proclamation on behalf of Mayor Lo Walker. Whereas Erin McCarty was born in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. Her parents had 6 children, and she was the only girl. Her father fought in World War II in Okinawa, where he earned the Bronze Star. Her mother left a family of 6 children in 1964 to go to a 6-week federal Job Corps training program. Erin is very proud of her mother's many years of service to the disadvantaged. And whereas Erin graduated from the first magnet high school in the state, she went on to receive a BA in journalism from LSU. While she was in high school, she was the Baton Rouge City Tennis Champion. It was this title and a state championship that brought her to our area for the very first time, and a lasting impression was made. And whereas Erin moved to Shreveport in May of 1984 to begin her career as news reporter for KWKH, she was first on scene at many big stories, including the Dixie Cold Storage Fire, the riots in Cedar Grove, and many others. Over the next 20 years, Erin was a watchful presence at hundreds of public meetings, and whereas in August of 1966, she teamed up with Robert J. Wright on The Morning Show when K94.5 went on air as Big Dog. In 2002, they moved to KVKI. In 2013, corporate management flew into town to ask the duo to become the town square of Shreveport-Bossier and move to KEEL, K-E-E-L. They were given free rein to create a show that would be the place to get detailed coverage of local stories and events. Erin and Robert have been on air together for 23 years. This is the longest-running continuous radio show in the region. And whereas Erin has won several awards for news coverage and website stories from the Associated Press and Louisiana Association of Broadcasters. She has recently won a Gracie Award, which honors women in media from across the nation. She is the first person from Louisiana to win this award. And whereas, although Erin McCarty has worked hard and has a career she is proud of, nothing makes her more proud than the 2 boys that call her mom. Both sons graduated from Byrd High School and went on to serve in the Marines. They are her pride and joy.
Mm-hmm.
Now, therefore, on behalf of Lorenz Walker, the City of Bossier City Mayor, he does hereby proclaim Saturday, May 4th, 2019, as Erin McCarty Day.
Ooh, sweet.
You can park anywhere in Bossier for the next 48 hours. That was pretty awesome.
That is awesome.
That was great.
Man, they did a good job.
Well,
Thank you for bringing that in.
Yes, ma'am.
It's all on a wooden plaque and all thing. It's all duded up.
Yeah.
It come out of the city budget, or did Mayor Lowe buy that?
I would have to check on that for you.
I'm going to send you a PRR on that,
I
all
was
right?
going to say, make a records request. We'll get to the bottom of this. Scandal rocks Bossier City Hall. I ran into the mayor a couple of Saturdays ago. Was it? Yes, because he's a newlywed, right?
That's correct. That's
and
correct.
so I ran into him and his lovely bride on Saturday morning on the Shreveport side of the river, and I congratulated him. And he is just one of the nicest, most charming, funny people you will ever meet. And to keep up with him. I'm trying to put this gracefully. For a man of his experience, I would imagine it is like trying to keep up with somebody in their early 30s. Fair?
Fair.
Wow. That's incredible. He's an incredible man. And he and I go back a long time. I mean, long before he was mayor, he was active in lots of community events in this town as well. So mutual respect.
Well, he was CAO of Bossier before he was.
Yes,
became mayor,
he was
right?
a CAO for a while. And so I had a lot of dealings with him. I mean, I covered Bossier City Council meetings before the new chamber was built. I covered them when they were in the old Bossier City Hall,
like downtown
on Barksdale Boulevard.
Yeah,
in the East Bank district right now. They used to have City Hall there.
That's where I went for my draft physical.
Goes a long way back. And then, I was in the process of, those meetings where they were deciding to build the new City Hall and also. Long history, and can't thank you guys enough for including me as well today. That was
Thank you, Miss
sweet.
Tracy. Great stuff.
Again,
Great
congratulations.
stuff.
Well
Thank
deserved.
you so much.
101.7 FM, 710 Keel. Traffic update now. Here's Ruben.
Dealing right now with a minor accident on Midway Avenue near Jewella Avenue. And we have some traffic delays on Airline Drive near Barksdale Boulevard in Bossier City. If you have anything to report to us, give us a call at the Planet Fitness Traffic Hotline. That's 687-ROAD.
Well, lots of clouds around today. Scattered showers and thunderstorms expected to pop up this afternoon. Some gusty winds and hail are possible. 81. Thunderstorm chance through the night tonight, low 64. Morning showers tomorrow, then partly cloudy for the afternoon, 79. And Sunday, sunny skies in the forecast, high 82. Richard Weddick at the Weather Channel.
Really? 101.7 FM, 710 Keel. Robert J. Wright and Erin McCarty. We've got about a minute and 10 before the next stop.
Mhm.
It's the clock, the format, the plan has not. We haven't followed the plan.
Yeah, we've
today.
trashed it today, kind of. That's for
So
sure.
if you had a nice day, we're wrapping this up. Your 35th anniversary.
Yeah, it's
today.
been a
Your
good day.
35th anniversary of
Mhm.
being on the radio in Shreveport. Probably. I would venture, as we've stated before, that may be continuously speaking kind of a record on the radio here,
Yeah,
huh?
yeah,
Because I know that
it
Larry
is.
Ryan, who's on the oldie station now, was here for a long time on Keel and stuff, and then he went to Chicago a couple of years, then Milwaukee for a very short time.
Right.
And that sort of interrupted the stretch, and so it may be you, kid.
Yeah,
the record holder, the torchbearer.
I think it might be. I got messages from Raymond Cruz, Dodie Horton, several others. I just want to tell them thanks. That because they mean a lot to me, and they take a lot of grief from me when I'm trying to get in touch with them. Because I'm relentless. I will text, I will call, I will do anything.
They're too sleepy. They'll remember. I tell you what, one more guest stopping by. We'll go to break. We'll pick it up when we come back.
Yeah.
101.7 FM, 710 Keel. Weather Channel forecast, kind of cloudy today. The chance of rain diminishing as the day rolls on. High today, low 70s. It's 59 at Keel.
You're listening to American Ground Radio's Morning Minute.
A bill that would allow betting on sporting events in Louisiana was passed earlier this week by the Louisiana State Senate. It now must be passed by the House before it can become law.
Now, it was almost 30 years ago that Louisiana lawmakers first turned to gambling in an effort to replenish state revenues devastated by the late 1980s oil bust. But is Louisiana a poster child for government-addicted gambling? After all, oil and gas used to be the biggest source of tax revenue for the state, but gambling has now surpassed oil and gas. The state collected over $726 million in taxes last year.
And it's estimated that sports betting, if it becomes law, could add another $30 to $60 million to the state's coffers.
American Ground Radio, where building a better America begins with building a better us. Return each weeknight from 6 to 7 p.m. with Louis R. Avalone and Stephen Parr on 101.7 FM and 710 KEEL and streaming live at KEELnews.com.
.101.7 FM and 710 KEEL. Robert J. Wright and Erin McCarty. A couple of special guests. Your son JW's here, but we won't.
His life, the deal with him is his whole life. Both my boys, their whole lives was on the radio.
Yeah,
and they used to get upset about that when
you
they
have
were
to
teenagers.
Close your eyes.
Okay, close my eyes.
Keep
All right.
them closed. Your occasional co-host and good friend Dan Keel is here. Okay, they still closed?
Yeah, they're
Take
closed.
A look at her, Dan.
Okay, I'm watching her.
They're
Doug,
closed.
Good Lord, this is heavy. Doug, would you hand that to Mr. Dan? Yes. There you go, buddy.
Oh, this is heavy.
I wasn't kidding.
Well, I couldn't think of something for the appropriate weight of 35 years in radio that would be meaningful
Can I open my eyes yet?
and would be lasting. Just a second.
No.
It would be lasting and meaningful.
Talk slower.
And you will enjoy this in the studio every day.
Oh, really?
Yes. And this is something that only you will appreciate as much as I know you will, because we've been friends for a day or two.
Okay.
So if you'd like to open your eyes, I would like to award you
Okay.
the Erin McCarty Laurel and Hardy handshake
Oh my God.
memento, which is what? What is that thing I've just handed you?
It is a dog statue of a Boston Terrier that reminds me of my tiger.
That one will not backtalk you or
my.
give you any trouble, and you can
Or
put
pee
it
on the
wherever you
rug
want.
or
Won't pee on the rug. Nope.
Wow.
That's why she never has me over. Knock on the
It
door.
looks
the
like
lights
Tiger,
go
doesn't
out.
it, Dub?
Yeah.
Pretty cool.
His ears don't. A little
Yeah.
bit, but.
Well, we could get a
looks-
Dremel tool and fix
Yeah.
them if you need to. But
yeah.
Was it weird for you, son, for your mom to have this job? Is this a weird job to you? Or was it just that's the way life was?
First off, that's an amazing gift. I like that a
Isn't that
lot.
cool?
Yeah. Yeah, it was something I wasn't used to, and it was something that I had to get used to because it was only a matter of time where I would wake up in the morning, go to school, and my teachers and my friends would know everything that I did the day before.
And nothing's changed. She's still on you.
Yeah, she has. She has been still on me, and now it's not as bad now.
Yeah.
But it was to a point where I would ask her to stop talking.
For 5
years.
Exactly.
And we had made up names after that.
Yeah, Johann
My name
Sebastian and
was-
Jim Jones McCarty.
Yeah, Jim Jones, yeah.
We don't know who is who.
Yeah.
We got
I
to
just
go,
gave
kids.
it away.
Thank you for stopping by, Mr. Danny. It is always a pleasure.
It is.
Congratulations, kid.
That's amazing.
35 down, 35 to go.
Oh, boy.
Yeah,
Yow.
that doesn't sound so good either. Back Monday morning, 6 till 9. Robert and Erin, 1017 FM, 710 KEEL. Here's Rush.
Senator Elizabeth Warren still running for president. You may have forgotten, but she is. And she recently talked about her childhood at a campaign event. She told a very heart-wrenching story, which we'll assume is true, unlike her Native American heritage. Yeah, her dad had a heart attack. He pulled through, but he couldn't work anymore. So her mother, who had never worked, went to the workforce. She took a minimum wage gig at Sears and saved the family from going under. Now, her point had nothing to do with the get-it-done character of her mom or the value of hard work. Elizabeth Warren's point was that her mom was able to take care of the family on a minimum wage, which I frankly don't believe, but we'll go with it. She says that today's minimum wage earner should be able to support a spouse, a kid, an abortion here and there, and maybe a mortgage payment. Well, what would that take? $50,000 a year, $100,000? I'm just throwing the numbers out. Why not $1 million? I mean, $1 million would cover most people and however many number of abortions they want. But after we pay off their student loans and give them free college and free health care and a universal guaranteed income, why should they ever work? Why should they get an education? Who was ever going to need a job, Sears or otherwise?
FM. What a day this has been. Awesome, to say the least. 1017 FM, 710 KEEL, Fox News just ahead. Here's Ruben.
Dealing right now with a minor accident on Midway Avenue near Jewella Avenue, and we have some traffic delays on Airline Drive near Barksdale Boulevard in Bossier City. If you have anything to report to us, give us a call at the Planet Fitness Traffic Hotline. That's 687-ROAD.
Well, lots of clouds around today. Scattered showers and thunderstorms expected to pop up this afternoon. Some gusty winds and hail are possible. 81. Thunderstorm chance through the night tonight, low 64. Morning showers tomorrow, then partly cloudy for the afternoon, 79. And Sunday, sunny skies in the forecast, high 82. Richard Weddick at the Weather Channel.
Breaking news and trending talk. KEEL, 710 AM and K269GO, 1017 FM, Shreveport.